All right, we're live. I guess we're here to discuss the Last Jedi,
Just
episode 8 in the Star Wars franchise. What are you gonna say,
It's
Andre?
lit.
One of the greatest Star Wars films to date. I'm gonna say.
Some would say.
What was your overall? What would you say was the strongest and the weakest aspect of this movie? We'll start with Andre.
the strongest is Adam Driver and Daisy's acting skills. How they portray the emotions of the character. That you can really they were putting her on into this movie from the acting skills. So and probably just the cinematography of it. Those are
Mhm.
really the things that stand out to me.
Uh, Adelson.
Um, the strongest. I agree with Andre. The strongest thing about this movie for me was the interactions between Daisy and Kylo. Every
Mm-hmm.
scene with them together, whether it be the astral projections or it's them connecting through the Force, or them actually on screen in the same place at the same time. Every time when they're interacting, I was mostly engaged. So that was for me the strongest part of the movie.
Even
I think he,
is he really gonna not speak
yeah,
now
he
as
dipped,
soon as
man.
we
Hey,
started?
man, we just
No, he's
have to
still
say,
here.
Is he still in the call? Yeah, he's still in
He's,
the call.
yeah,
He's doing this on purpose.
hey, man, it's
He was
okay.
awake. He was awake right before we started.
Hey, man.
All right. Well, let's call Young and hear something. Let me see. All right. I guess let me see. What was the best aspect? Probably Adam Driver and Kylo in characterization was good. Um, yeah, that was probably the best part. And I liked I was gonna say new characters, but no. I I like the finale
Yo,
where
why'd I
they
get kicked? Who kicked me?
nobody.
Bro, if
I
you
was
got
asking
yo,
you to
kicked, you
speak
wouldn't
in.
be able to join.
All right, we live
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Yes.
live, we live.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on, man? You know, I'm out here to just talk about the Star Wars movie and franchise history, man. We out here, baby. We out here.
Finally.
Go ahead,
All right.
Wes.
I was asking him what was the strongest aspect of the movie, like one thing that was like strongest.
All right.
He was asking you. Yeah,
It's
you
your
answered.
turn. It's your turn.
Oh, I'll pull Shannon Sharp, man. The whole thing, man. Hey, let me tell you something, Skill. Skill, this whole movie. Nah, but in all seriousness, the strongest thing to me was the fact that it was set up in a way where you weren't allowed to be a comfortable watcher throughout the whole film. You're kind of sitting, you're kind of uncertain throughout the whole thing, and if you're not uncertain, you're unsure of what's about to happen with a situation or a character. And being and in that way, it's almost like the film is playing you like a yo-yo, and it's a roller coaster. And I feel like it's a good kind where it's like there's a lot of tension and there's a sense of danger and stuff. And so I'm watching it kind of just like I really just can't predict some of what's about to happen, and I really don't know what's about to happen because there's a lot of teasing and jerking and there's just a lot of teasing of certain scenarios and things like that. So I think that would be the strongest part of the movie for me personally. Besides the fact that you got a standout performance from Adam Driver and Mark Hamill. But yeah,
What did you think of Because I guess the movie is kind of broken up into the three sub, or maybe four, four or five plots.
there's a Poe situation
Yeah,
with the
whole thing.
Resistance. There's the
The
there's
Ray thing with
Ray
the Finn thing with Rose,
yeah.
and that's basically
Are those the
yeah,
three big ones?
there's like three main ones. Yeah.
yeah.
It's from yeah, from what I remember, unless I'm
And
forgetting.
I mean, because the Kylo thing's connected now with the Ray
Yeah,
thing
it's
and
connected
stuff.
to it. Yeah,
You think
there's like
Chicago? What?
there's three main platforms.
But what did you think? What did you think of those? Which one was the strongest? Were any of them weak? Were you pleased from the last movie
Uh,
how their stories continued into this one? Um,
uh,
what do you think of the plot overall?
I think
Um,
the the plot was cool.
did it balance those three storylines enough for you? Like
No, I think like the dullest part of the movie is like the Finn and what's the Asian girl's name?
Rose.
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 Like when they're at the casino portion of it, to me that was like
That
kind
was
of
that was a
like
weak
the
part, right?
weak portion of it. Poe, he, I think he, I like how they kind of showed him like you can't just always try to be the hero. Think off like your emotions and just be so gun ho. Like you actually kind of have to think about the bigger picture and stuff. And that was the lesson that they were trying to do with him. So that was good with his character. The stuff with Luke and I thought it felt a little bit slow at some points, but I still thought it was good. And just like since like Kylo, his whole thing was connected to that. I think him being connected to it was really made it well, like made that part probably the best portion of the movie.
Okay. Um, I go so.
You want me to go?
Are they balanced enough for you? Were you pleased with the direction all the characters went in from the last movie? Does it answer any questions that you had? Was this the best Star Wars movie so far out of the new trilogy? Yes, no.
Or you guys say everybody or still Andre?
Just you now.
Me. No, for me, a lot of people complain. A lot of people complain about the Poe and Rose storyline.
Yeah.
That
I didn't see any
storyline
complaints
didn't
about
bother.
Poe. I saw. Oh, you mean Finn and
I mean, I
Rose?
said Poe, Finn and Rose.
Oh,
My
okay.
bad. Yeah, the Finn and Rose storyline. That's a lot of people's least favorite part of the movie. It didn't bother me as much. I understand people's complaints. I understand like tonally it felt like a different movie. I
Did it
understand it was
though?
slow.
Did it feel
No,
like
I
a
That's
just
why
feel like a different movie. It just wasn't as interesting or like.
that
I mean, Return of the Jedi or whatever. It's very similar with the Ewok stuff and the animals
yeah.
and things like
People
that.
people a lot of
That's
Star Wars
even
fans
more
hate.
just kind of like a deviation from what was going
Yeah.
on. Oh, that's even more.
A lot of Star Wars fans hate like when cute animals are involved and stuff. I get people's complaints, but that storyline didn't bother me so
Yeah.
much. The strongest for me was Poe by far. Um, his
Really, you
character
like the
arc with
Poe
learning.
thing?
Yeah,
It's
the
very
Poe
good.
storyline was the best. His character arc with him like learning how that sometimes it's good to retreat, sometimes it's the right thing to do to retreat, sometimes you have to pull back. You have to learn how to be smarter.
Yeah, that guy was an
He's
idiot.
the type of pilot that relies
He
on
was
his
getting
talent.
everybody killed like
Yeah,
constantly throughout this
yeah.
movie.
I
It
mean,
was just going on.
what was it?
Yo, but he's doing it
He
in
got
style, man.
His entire
he got
fleet was
five
getting destroyed,
bomber
bro.
ships. He got five bomber ships destroyed in the first scene. So like,
Yeah.
it's like really.
You would
So
think
I
he would
like
be
how he
more
has to learn.
hesitant at that point. Like he was
Yo,
trying to start the mutiny and stuff. Like you would think he would hold back a little bit
I just
more.
remember. Do you remember what he told? Do you remember what he told Leia when she said like all those dudes you got killed? He said like they'll be remembered as heroes or something like that. So and then just kind
Yeah,
of brushed it off. I'm like,
and then
damn.
and
Did
then
he really?
and then
Oh
Leia,
my
yeah, and
god.
then
Yeah,
Leia was like dead heroes, and then he shut up.
This
He's
is a
like, oh
sociopath, bro.
yeah. So
He's too
I
cocky.
like
he said that they're heroes.
I like how he has to learn how to pull back and learn how to be more smart. And he's learning how to become the general. And Leia's kind of slowly teaching him how to take her spot. And she's kind of passing on the torch to him. So I like that a lot. I'm surprised they lacked on other characters.
Do you like
That
the
was the strongest.
purple haired, whatever her name is, character? The one that took command.
I always forget her name. But yeah, she was good. I thought she was going to be a traitor. I'm glad they didn't go
Really?
that route. Yeah,
I did too,
when I first saw her, I thought that she was a
but she
traitor.
ended up being the
I'm
person
glad they
to
didn't go
teach him a
that route.
lesson. That was shocking.
And that scene where she goes into hyperspace and splits those two, I guess you
Yeah.
call them Star Destroyers. Oh my goodness. I've never seen anything like that done to a
No,
Star Wars
they were
movie before.
dreadnoughts, I think. Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
it was.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
never
that was
really
one of the
liked
best
that
scenes in
gun.
the movie. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
one of the best scenes in the movie. It was really
and
good.
like yeah, it was so good. But yeah.
Even though she waited a long time before she did anything, and let a lot of those extra ships get destroyed. But I mean, like I said, she was. I think she was just shocked. She was kind of like, change of plans.
But yeah,
Um,
but I thought all the storylines were balanced out pretty well. Um, I wish we had a little more time with Ray, but other than that, the storylines are balanced out pretty well.
I guess it was just different. So some people just, you have your favorite. I guess what type of story? They're like three different genres.
Yeah.
What about you, Eva? Did you feel like it was
What
well balanced and you liked the direction all the
I
characters
feel like
went?
it was well balanced. I'm not sure, honestly. I think that might actually be my personal not gripe if I had anything. I don't know. I don't know if it might have been well balanced, but I feel like maybe the balancing of time allotted to each things and the way they transition and the pacing is a little might be a little just kind of iffy towards that kind of like portion of the film. Um, I know you said like off video that you said off video that that Luke and Ray portion where like it's kind of like they're going back and forth and she's trying to get him to agree to train her, that like it kind of takes too long because you kind of know
Yeah,
it
it felt
inevitably goes.
tedious and it was the
But
most predictable part of the movie.
well, yeah. So the thing is, like, it's predictable because, like, in film, like, obviously he's gonna eventually agree, but you can't cut it down because then it's gonna feel like he disagreed too quick. So it's almost like it's like a necessary part you gotta kind of go through because it's
I
like
mean, we could have seen a montage like them training together though, and then that would have
well,
given you the impression that they spent a
I
lot of
guess
time together.
I guess, but not in terms of balancing and stuff like that. Like, I think the part where like they give a lot of time to the Rose Finn thing, and I feel like they did that specifically for characterization, so you could care as much as possible about this character Rose, this new character. So I understand why they did that, but that doesn't change the fact that the casino, that casino setting in general, um it felt out of place in the sense of like this movie. It doesn't feel out of place for Star Wars in general. Like that's very Star Warsy. Like this kind of like this space casino with these weird creatures and stuff. Like that's very Star Wars. It actually reminded me when they started the scene with the music and stuff. Kind of reminded me of the bar in Episode 4 when Han Solo makes his introduction and he shoots Greedo. But nah, that part just kind of was bogged down, and then like that whole thing of like Finn and Rose riding those creatures like and they were kind of stampeding through the area, like that just felt like that felt like the director's kind of just embellishing and having fun with the scene rather than it really doing anything for the film itself. Like you could just kind of show them stampeding and then kind of cut off, like we get the point, like that's what happened there. And I didn't really particularly enjoy that subplot until that guy that pickpocket that guy got introduced. You know who I'm talking about, right? The the dude who ended up
Benicio del Toro.
huh?
Benicio del Toro.
Is that his
He's
actual name?
like bold. Yes. No, not in the
Oh,
film.
that's the
Yeah.
actor's name. Yeah, when that guy's character got introduced, that when that guy's character got introduced, I feel like that whole scenario started to add things of value to the film itself. Like because he added to the specific narrative of that of that like good guys,
So
bad guys.
it
These
played
ships,
into the overall, the
yeah,
overarching.
these ships and weapons are sold to both sides, so it really doesn't matter. And being that he was one of the straight up forthcoming ambiguous characters, I really enjoyed that he didn't just because he wasn't just a dude who's just super loyal to them and ended up selling them out when the situation called for it for himself, because that makes sense. Um, but again, to answer your original question, sorry, I'm deviating, but to answer your original question about the balancing and stuff, um,
Bless you.
Thank
I
you.
I didn't think it was perfect, but when I do, the more I think about like the things I didn't like about the balance, and I talk myself through it, I understand why certain things got the amount of time that it did, specifically like with the Rose thing, because it's like they want to get more kind of characterization and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
will
they
say
really
though,
want to introduce.
I will say though, I do I do wish we got a little bit more actual training with Ray and Luke, but I think that's more of a want rather than like we need more of their actual training.
I
Uh,
feel like it was implied that there was more that we didn't see too.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
It
there's
was
more.
off, it was just off screen, which is
You don't think so, Andre? Don't like
No, it wasn't implied at all.
Off
Because he did
off
one
screen
training
off
section.
screen character development.
it. Yeah,
He
I mean they trained together off screen. Do
they
you think they trained together?
yeah, they
no,
were
it's not implied
Days
because no,
passed. Days passed. They
yeah,
were
like they
together.
were
he
training.
does
He
one
said
session. He does one session with her. Oh, I've seen that power before. It didn't scare me then. It does
This
now.
too.
And that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was that just a straight up lie? Because the part is scary. He was being a
what?
liar. When he said that line about not being scared of Kylo Ren's power,
oh yeah, yeah,
That
oh
wasn't a
yeah, yeah,
lie. He was
yeah.
lying.
yeah, he was straight up lying.
He was lying. He was lying there.
Nah. What
That
do you
was a
mean? He was
lie.
lying about what?
It took him. It took him 2 tries to finally admit to Ray that he tried to smoke him. So
I mean, she caught him. He didn't even admit it.
No, he was scared
Yeah.
of the power though.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, but he said he wasn't scared when he met Kylo. That's
yeah,
why he tried to kill him because he was scared.
yeah.
I don't know.
He wasn't being totally transparent about that whole
Yeah,
situation.
like I said, that whole thing with Luke. I mean, I
It,
just
like he showed the flaws in his character as a
yeah. I
person.
mean the
yeah,
movie like
that
it
makes
took
no sense though.
it started to do certain things, and even though that I was like shocked, I was fine with it. Like when Leia dies, I was like fine,
Mm-hmm.
and then they took it back immediately, so I was like, eh. Like, did
Mm-hmm.
they really take
Superman
it
scene.
out? Yeah, that was. I mean, that was a little.
I don't mind her surviving. The way they did it though was kind of like,
Yeah, the way she survived. I was talking about
Yeah.
surviving, like not flying back into the ship casually after being frozen in space. Like kind of like, eh. And
Mhm.
like when Luke, like when I saw that scene of him killing Kylo Ren, I got so hyped because it
Yeah.
immediately justified a lot of Kylo Ren's going to the dark
Yeah,
side.
yeah, and it really it helped his character.
Yeah,
Like,
it really helped his character be like more sympathetic
mm-hmm.
and like you see
Yeah.
his perspective a lot more. So I was fine with him doing that. I was like hyped.
Mm-hmm.
And that also to me, since I'm not like strictly like die hard like just like entrenched in the idea that characters are specifically a certain way. Like if they take Luke Skywalker and reveal this other side to old man Luke, where he's a little bit darker than he was
Mm-hmm.
in the other movies, I'm fine with it. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that drastic shift in his character a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that's who he became later on, like this old man
Mm-hmm.
is a little bit more frightened of the dark side, like maybe he's more powerful than Darth Vader even was, whatever. I think that's an interesting direction to go in as long as they make it make sense within the story, as long as they explain it a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like when they show Luke's perspective, I thought Luke was gonna admit, like I thought he was gonna keep Rey on the island and
Mm-hmm.
not let her leave. That's what I thought he was gonna do when she approached him. I thought he was like, I'm not letting you leave. I let Kylo get away. You're not getting away or something. And there was gonna be a conflict there, which would have been interesting. But
Mm-hmm.
all he did was say like, "Oh, I'm kind of still the good guy," and give this like roundabout explanation about how he just started to hesitate, but then went back to the light side and like understood everything. And Kylo countered them and attacked them and stuff like that and made the house collapse. Like I would have been fine with them just committing to Luke trying to kill him, committing to killing Leia. Just like take if you're gonna make these drastic shock value
No, no,
scenes,
no, no.
commit to it
I
a
can't.
little bit.
I wouldn't go all the way that way because we do it like I think it's fair to note though also that Luke did it on an instinct and that he immediately felt regret and that regret like still lives with him and that's kind
But
of why he's a
Yeah.
sunken man because it's like
I would
because
rather
it's like
he just openly thought about killing him. Like he was just gonna do it.
and when you think about it
I just
that kind of
go ahead.
leads that kind of leads that kind of just adds to his disillusion where he's just like damn man who am I kidding man like I just tried to kill this dude man and he starts
but
thinking more about
I
the
mean,
whole
this is the first time. This is the first time we've ever seen a flashback in the Star Wars movie.
Oh, really?
And
Is it
yeah,
really?
first time.
You should,
Yes, first time it's ever
really?
been done. Yeah,
I, I didn't know
but
that.
it's the thing. The problem is, and I like it. I like the bold move of putting a flashback in there. It's just such a small sample size of what happened that there's a lot that we have that's just up to interpretation. Like, why
That's a
did
good
Luke
thing,
try
though.
and talk to? But is it though?
Yeah,
Because I mean, why would Luke try and kill his nephew in his sleep just because he feels the dark side?
Yeah, that makes
Why
no
wouldn't he
sense.
try and at least talk? Why wouldn't he try and at least talk to Kylo first? Were they going back and forth for a while?
Yeah,
I mean,
they don't give.
How did Snoke start manipulating Kylo
time
and
out,
he's not
time
even
out,
on the island?
time
How
out,
did Snoke get in touch
time
with
out,
Kylo in the first place?
time out,
How did
time out,
Snoke?
time out, time out, time out, time out. First of all,
How did that go down? So
wait,
there's a lot. I
wait.
think
So no,
by
I mean,
doing that, I know, hold on, Eva, hold on. By doing that, I get it, and I like the bold move of finding putting a flashback in Star Wars. But by doing
Yeah.
that, you've opened up a whole nother can of worms of questions that you don't that you don't have answers for, and that you're probably not going to answer based on this movie. Sometimes we know that they're just not going to answer some things.
I mean, how do you know the final movie's not out?
But we can only
Stuff
talk
with it.
about that. Nah, but
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
cause
but they're probably gonna. I mean,
nah,
they're.
cause I did nah, cause I fell for this chap with Ray. I defended Ray. I said nah, she's not. You don't know what her powers are. You don't know if she lost her memory. You don't know if she's
Yeah,
already been a trained Jedi and Luke is
yeah,
suppressing her powers and suppressing her memories. I've made all the excuses in the world, and they burned me because they
yeah.
burned me. So nah, I'm not gonna give them the benefit of the doubt this time.
I mean, we don't know if maybe Kylo Ren's lying. Maybe Snoke suppressed both their memories, right?
But
So it's still
how?
No,
possible.
I'm not, I'm not gonna do it again, bro. I'm not gonna
what I
do
was
it
gonna,
How
again.
what I was,
he messed with their minds when he made them train together in this movie. When he was like,
But
he
who?
said
That's my thing. Like with Snoke,
he influenced everything.
where did he come from? Who is he?
oh,
How did he even get
The
connected to these
the
people?
outer ring, whatever.
the snow thing. I'm not too worried about because I think that there's gonna be some extra insight to him after he dies
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
and
I think so too.
and they've done
We
that
don't know
whether
that.
That's an assumption. That's an assumption.
they
Yeah, we
okay,
don't know that.
but well,
We
we
can't
have.
base.
I mean, sure it is, but at the same time, like complaining prematurely for it is a little
It's
weird
not.
because like
It's not premature.
What? It's the same exact thing as making an assumption that
I was
it'll be
gonna
resolved
I mean, well, here's the thing
in the
though. There's
trailer.
been other
He's just saying he thinks. He's not saying for sure. Like it's possible.
there's other
And it's
prominent
also
Star Wars characters that we've gotten extra insight and things about them after they died though. So
But the thing is, like,
And Yoda's the biggest example of that. So
but
because
the thing,
Yoda's only really been in the original trilogy, he's only been prominently featured in one film, and yet we got a lot out of Yoda after he died too. But what I was gonna say regarding Snoke, um, there's multiple ways to showcase things regarding him and about him without him being act necessarily alive. I mean, number
I think
one,
Kylo Ren being there kind of
Kylo
eventually.
Ren
Yeah,
being there and being the sole kind of like head of the bad guys now is the ultimate avenue to kind of explore the past more. So
yeah, but
that's not out of the question at all. But I wanted to say something to Adosa when he's making that thing about how did how did how did uh how did this dude Snoke start kind of getting in Kylo's head? Was it confirmed that Snoke began his manipulation of Kylo while Kylo's on the island
yes,
with Luke?
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
When
Luke said it. Luke said it. He said Snoke has already
was
started to manipulate Kylo.
was that something he said? Was that something he said to Ray?
Yeah, he said to Ray.
Now what's but we also confirmed later on know that he said that that Snoke didn't create Kylo Ren. I created Kylo Ren. So
No, but he said no,
so
but he's saying no, but he's saying that in terms of he thinks he's failed Kylo, like he wasn't able to stop him from going to the dark side.
no, because
Yes, that's
he never fully articulated to Kylo's parents, to Ben Solo's parents, that like I tried to kill him, and that's the domino. That's the first domino in this man becoming who he is
no,
now.
that's not the first domino. That was just the icing on the cake.
no, that's not the first domino.
The first domino was Snoke getting into Kylo's head.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
portrayed in
That
movie
but
one, and
yeah, that's in Force Awakens and in this one.
I don't. I
That
don't know,
Kylo,
man.
that
Because
Snoke started manipulating Kylo when he was being trained by Luke.
I didn't. I don't know about that. And the thing is also like when Luke said that, like I took that as more of him lying, especially considering he later expressed the contrary, and we found out that he wasn't being fully honest with the
Yeah.
whole
I mean,
situation.
Obi Wan blames himself for Anakin.
So,
Did Obi Wan create Darth Vader?
he
No.
didn't say I created Dark Vader. He just says like he should have done
No,
he
but
should
he
have done
blames
better
himself.
to.
He says I failed you. He said I failed you, Anakin.
Yeah, yeah. He says
Just like
I
Luke. Just like Luke
and get
did.
that feeling.
Just yeah.
It's a
Just
little
like
bit
that's
different
the
though.
same.
No, but my thing
All
is,
right. What were
yes,
they gonna do? What was the most of this movie like? Giving the Snoke a backstory? Like they really want to
Yeah,
like they introduced Ben and Ray.
Smoke is essentially a placeholder anyway for
but
continuation.
Yeah, yeah,
no, hold on. But they created
Go. No.
that 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 mystery in movie one in Force Awakens. They created that question.
yeah. I know. Yeah,
Yes.
they
They
definitely did.
established that
Definitely did.
in the movie one. Ben Solo and Layla, Han Solo and Layla blame Snoke for him going to the dark side. So obviously, at some point, did he manipulate um, Ben? And they don't show that at all in this movie.
Yo, and
Yeah,
the
but
thing is,
I think Luke
the thing
revealed
is,
that it was him. So
No,
I
no,
think that
but Snoke still had no. He was see. The thing is, Ben was already getting introduced to. That's the thing.
I mean, do we know that for sure?
Yes,
I don't
like
want.
they were.
Yeah,
That,
I
that
don't.
yes, they were already. Snoke was already involved in the picture. Luke
We don't, we don't,
already
we don't, we
did.
don't, we
Just
don't like
push.
totally. It was never explicitly stated that Snoke like, was just
Yes,
kind
it
of like
was. Yo,
no, no,
what,
Andre, like you, no, it wasn't. Like
what do you
so,
mean?
the
We
only
don't
So
know what
Snoke,
level. We don't know what level the
the only thing we
influence.
can really go off of regarding the
you don't know
series
what
was
level
that
he is. The dude can manipulate people from such a far distance.
okay, Andre,
yo,
but again,
He's one of the
see,
powerful.
we've never seen that. We've never seen that before. That's one of the
no,
most powerful things we've ever seen.
Yeah,
what's coming from you is just as much active speculation as it is on our part because
No,
all we can really
they
go off of.
established in movie and Force Awakens. They
Oh,
established Snoke was the one that turned him to the dark side. They
Yes,
established. They
yes. Because
established. Wait, wait,
time out.
wait, wait.
Because that's the public knowledge
No, no,
of
no.
that's the public knowledge
No,
of why Kylo's the way he is. And Luke literally said,
but no.
like
Luke said
he
Snoke was also involved in the picture.
when he wait, time out. When he said that, that was to Ray, and that was before he came clean about
Man, but
himself.
my thing
So
is, when did Kylo Ren get involved with Snoke? It couldn't have been afterwards.
why not?
He,
no.
I think
Snoke
it's.
started.
I think it's unclear.
No,
I mean,
Snoke started
Yeah, like
teaching Kylo Ren.
yeah,
No,
Snoke was the
Snoke.
one
still
teaching him the
Yo,
dark side.
yeah, he was teaching him and he was teaching him about Darth Vader while he was training with Luke. This is in the Force Awakens.
because the way I saw it, the way I kind of look at the whole thing,
No, the way you
it just seems
remember is
kind of like
wrong.
it really just seems like the man had this like kind of potential to do something really bad, and
yeah.
because of that, Luke did what he did, and he kind of gravitated
Yeah,
towards.
but you're just not remembering the context of everything though.
I mean,
I
also this movie's made like kind of you have to fix your headset.
You said
what?
what?
Put on your headphones back now. But this movie's kind of made like retroactively
Yes,
changing some of the things from the Force
yes,
Awakens,
I agree.
and
Yes,
that's the issue. Like it kind of
that's the big.
it
That's my
tells a
biggest
different
problem with this movie.
story than like what
Yes,
happened with originally.
I think
yeah,
partially was that's also because like Force Awakens was kind of gearing, even though I love that movie, it was kind of gearing towards a let's copy the original trilogy direction. So
Yeah, and I think this one tried to push it in a different, down a different
mm,
path. It changed some things, and I do think like what you were saying, like a lot of that is like the legend of what people think happened, and like Jesus or whatever. I don't know. I haven't
So when
watched
did
it.
he meet Snoke? When did he meet Snoke?
I have no clue because they don't show in this movie.
yeah, exactly.
And Snoke's dead.
bro,
And
it's
Snoke's
already
dead.
bro. Snoke was training Kylo when he was training with Luke.
Yeah, Snoke is the one. The thing is,
And
Luke.
Yeah.
he was in the dark side. He said before that, I searched his mind. He was already in the dark side. The
Yeah, but
person
Luke
that
was lying.
no, no, no,
He's
no.
an
Luke was
unreliable
lying about
narrator.
no. Luke was lying about the fact that he tried to kill him. He wasn't lying about the fact that he looked inside his mind and saw the dark side.
Yeah, he saw potential for like the
Yeah,
dark
he
side.
saw potential. That potential
Exactly.
was created. That potential was created from Snoop.
That,
I
Huh.
don't
that,
know.
Okay.
that's mostly people though figuring that whole situation out in their mind, saying logically
No,
that's
that's
how it would make
no,
sense though,
that's
because
just
it's
what was established in movie one.
it's not directly confirmed that
I
Snoke
don't
is
know if
out here.
Snoke. Yeah, I don't know if Snoke manipulated him when he just like told him, like just gave him the opportunity, and Kylo Ren was like, like he was undecided. I don't know if he directly manipulated his mind
No,
to join
no,
the
no,
dark
no,
So
side at
tell
that point.
no,
wait,
no.
hold on. So Snoke telling Kylo Ren that his grandfather is Darth Vader, and everything that he did well, or everything that he did evil, was actually the right thing, and that he had one mistake, and that was killing the Emperor. That was Darth Vader's weak moment. That's not manipulating Kylo Ren.
Not
Come out.
really.
I don't. I
Yes,
mean, I'm
What?
not even saying that. I'm saying that the timeline of all this happening is still vague.
Yeah,
and
it's vague.
so what I keep trying to reiterate is that in this final film, now that it's really all Kylo, because like Phasma's gone, Snoke is gone, and everybody else is pretty much submitted like to Ben Solo's will. I think now what you have a chance to do now is to tie this up a little bit better by having him kind of like you can have moments where he really recalls like how he like better like kind of portrayals of like how he became who he is now, and you kind of have these gap. You could get these gap filler scenes of better kind of illustrating that. And
Yeah,
so what I say now is that it's still a bit too vague before for you to kind of like jump in on that and call certain things out. So yeah, but
no, it's not. It's not
I,
vague.
if you say so.
I think a lot of his things he did was trying to not like there was a lot of lore, I guess, ignored and contradicted, and like things were shaky about like filling out like the backstory of why certain things were happening, when certain things happened, and like the Knights of Ren kind of like absent completely. That was the case in the first movie and stuff. Like where all these dudes that Kylo Ren trained and like, took under his wing and all that stuff. But I think a lot of what the movie was trying to do
Ow.
was to create an emotional connection and get certain characters where they needed to be for the audience emotionally. Like I think a lot of people were still undecided about Kylo Ren, and to
Mm-hmm.
me, he was always built up as the main villain of the trilogy. Like not Snoke.
Yeah.
I was never like he was
Mm-hmm.
always meant to take that mantle of being like
Yeah.
the new Darth Vader
See,
that
Supreme
was
leader,
I don't,
supreme leader.
I
personality.
don't disagree with that
Yeah,
though.
Yeah. I
I don't
agree.
disagree with that.
I think this movie was really focused not on like explaining why everything. Like they can do that later. They were really trying to get you to feel like this is the dude they need to focus on as the antagonist of this
Mm-hmm.
trilogy. Like this is his role. Make you accept him as a threatening force and
Uh
give him a compelling like backstory where you can like see where he came from like emotionally rather than like technically how
Yeah.
he
And they just
learned and where his
they
training
just
at and all
sacrifice
that
they
stuff. Yeah.
sacrifice Snoke in the process.
Yeah, they
Which
did.
was stupid and
I
bad.
don't think it's a full on sacrifice though, because like I said, you
Oh,
could
this man
always
got cut in half
time out. No, okay, so number one.
in mid monologue.
So, but listen,
What, bro? This man.
the thing
First,
is,
wait. Even no. Even no.
please,
You can't
please
just
stop
say
yelling.
so. But no.
I,
First of all, no. First of all, he used one of the strongest abilities we've ever seen. This man also revealed that he can manipulate lightning. Bro, he can.
okay,
Bro, he was
listen,
ragdolling Ray. What? Are you kidding me?
yeah,
This
yeah,
is one of the
yeah.
strongest guys we've ever
Time out.
seen.
That's why it makes it
What do you
more
mean so?
poignant. That's why it makes it more poignant when Kylo sneaks him. But what I wanted to say though
That's just
was
dumb.
no. What I wanted to say was that what's it called? At the end of the day, you could still kind of posthumously explore things about him in terms of the training. Plus, number two, I mean, think about this. Think about this. Luke Skywalker brought up the whole kind of thing that I was hoping someone would about like kind of the hypocrisy and nature of the Jedi's, and
But that was brought up in the prequels.
that's what I'm saying. That was directly kind of taken from them because the prequels illustrated prequels since that's when they were around with the Republic. It kind of showed like how they ran things and how their policy kind of leads to fascism, and it's a slippery slope that ends up not actually maintaining balance, but creating a system that crumbles. So um, the point I
The
wanted to
Ray
make
just
was that
wasn't listening.
the point Robin.
Go ahead.
So the point I wanted to make was that now that the Jedi basically are kind of over and done with it, besides Rey, and now that the Sith are pretty much torn down, now what you have in the last film is all these new characters to kind of forge their own way, and while in doing so you can kind of explore what like some of the things that made up the previous systems of beliefs and the previous structures, and in doing so and in exploring that you can kind of get into Snoke. And also I wanted to add, what's to say we won't see a Sith ghost of Snoke haunting Kylo. Think about how Kylo is mentally haunted by what he did to his father, and Luke threatened that the same thing would happen if he killed him. And so now Kylo, like, you really think like there's a good chance Kylo thinks he's over and done with the Snoke thing, and that guy's really gonna haunt him until he takes his final step into development.
No, even when you're right, there's a chance that we can see that, but there's also a chance that we won't. So that's just like, what do we do with that?
I
But
mean,
then that's why I'm saying, like, when you like this is part two of three. Like, it's a middle phase. So it's like
So we
I feel like
can't criticize. So we can't criticize that part too.
no, I mean, you can make the point. You can kind of express possible concerns, what's it called? Fair concerns that, like, all right, there's a good chance like this we don't get into any of this in the third one, and as of right now, uh, this is disappointing because of this. But also at the same time, it's like some of this I feel like it's a little premature, specifically regarding some of the stuff like in that topic. But um,
I mean,
structure
would
structural
you?
things about well, go ahead.
I guess
The hell is that sound?
I think it's Andres.
Someone mute me real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, would you have seen Kylo as the main antagonist to overcome if Snoke was still around in the movie going into the
Uh,
finale?
would I have seen? No, I was.
Mhm.
If Snoke was still in the, if Snoke was still in the movie,
Yeah, yeah. If
no,
he
Snoke would be the
survived,
main. Snoke would be the
exactly.
main. Yeah,
So
but I
that's
need,
a problem.
but hold on, but no, it's not. Kylo is still,
That,
bro.
that, that
Kylo's
that's a
still
that's a huge
growing.
problem. That's a huge
How is
problem.
that a problem? Kylo's still
That's
growing.
a
He's growing
nah.
according to
This
what?
man, yo,
I think it's
yo,
important that
his
he finishes
kyber,
out his
no,
development by himself.
his kyber crystal isn't even solid yet.
He's
I
what?
don't know what that means.
He's what?
Like in the same, like you know how a saber is all out of whack.
Yeah.
That means he's still not even like he's not even like resolved in the dark side.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that part of
That's
the
the.
character?
I mean,
He's
that's kind of
not.
the point.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be a
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
conflicted.
So I don't mind Snoke still being the main while Kylo's still figuring out who he
By the
Yeah,
way,
but
is
I think
and
Kylo
where he's
embraces
going.
that about himself too. So
yeah, Kylo's meant to be the main antagonist of the
Yes,
trilogy.
I but
So like,
but I don't think
Snoke
they had
has.
to speed that up. I think they could have took their time with that.
I mean,
I mean, it's not over though for him.
yeah,
This is the beginning of of this next big phase for him. This
and
next
I
big
mean,
step.
they placed like I said in the chat, they placed a whole thing about like this, like Kylo he went on that rant about like, hold on, I gotta mute like Kylo went on that rant about determinism versus free will, and that was the whole thing he was explaining to Rey, and he was just like
Mm-hmm.
he was saying,
I made a mistake.
Nelly, are you gonna talk or are you gonna play like these?
Sorry, what?
Okay. All right, you can use it. So like they went on that whole rant, and what he was saying to Ray is like basically they need to like carve out their own fate. You know, like they decide what they want to do, not the characters from the past. Like it kind of represented the shadow of the original trilogy, as well as like what was going on in the story of these characters having like so much influence and all these expectations for what they had to be and what roles they were gonna play and all that. And he was saying like, let's do our own thing. Like he killed all these other characters. He got rid of Snow.
Yeah,
He got rid
but
of Han
Wesley, don't you,
Solo.
hold on, but Wesley, don't you think they should discuss that in the meetings before they made the Force Awakens? Like,
Discuss
don't you
what?
think
Different
they should have?
director.
Don't you think they should have this established before they went through with this process of making 7, 8, and 9? Like, don't you
What do
think
you,
that they should establish they should have been on the same page? Like, okay, this is where you're going, J.J. Abrams. Okay, Ryan Johnson, this is where you need to take it, piggybacking off
I
what
mean,
J.J. Abrams started.
to an extent, I don't think it's out of the question that there was kind of a loose direction of an idea that this is kind of where Kyle's going to be taken through these 3 films. So.
No, but everything else, like the stuff with Ray, like the stuff with Snoke.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, like Ray being set up to be somebody special, and then
I
she's
mean, I
not.
mean, for all we know,
it could have
for
been
all we
planned.
know,
It could have just been
yeah,
handled
and
in a way
No,
that
no.
better.
There are so many. No, I watched The Force Awakens again the other day. There are so many hints. There are so many hints to her being special. It is ridiculous. If you go back and
no,
watch that
no,
movie,
no,
it is
no, 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 no.
ridiculous.
What the hints were was that like she's specifically skilled in the Force for some strange reason, and I think
Yeah.
that's the only problematic thing that comes from
No, no,
her
no,
having
bro.
regular parents
No,
because
no.
Look, bro. When Maz Kanata asked Han, when Ray walks away to chase Finn, when he's about to leave, she says, "Who's the girl?" And it strategically cuts from the scene when Han leans in to talk to Maz Kanata. He
I mean
knows.
that's just to build mystery, but
That's the point.
What? What?
That's
What are
the
you talking?
point.
Exactly, Ibrahim. That's the
You mean a
point.
lack of
You don't
mystery that
do,
we had?
bro. You can't do that to the fans. Like you can't like dangle this carrot. You can't dangle this carrot and then just rip it away just because you felt like going in another direction at the last minute.
I mean, you're
Like
assuming it's
no,
another direction
and
though.
it's
Maybe he just created. I mean, maybe he was he originally signed on to do the whole trilogy? Maybe he just thought like I'm gonna create a mystery around this and then leave it open and we can go in a bunch of different directions with it. It really seemed like he was just setting up stuff vaguely where you could go in that direction or you could go wherever you want. He just
And that's a bad organization.
yeah.
because here's the thing
then. But
when the first
Wesley, do
film
you like that? I don't like that.
when the Force Awakens came out, right? I mean, and that whole dangled mystery came out. What ended up happening was all you got was a bunch of really convoluted theories for what important character she could be connected to, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized like this is just gonna this is just gonna be this is probably gonna be like an AIDS-inducing description on how she's connected to Kenobi or
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah,
and
me too. I was like,
so
there's no
I
way
was
it's gonna
I,
feed
I,
into everyone. There's
yeah,
no way it's gonna be.
So so
I,
you
I,
so you
so so
meant
so I
bro.
sat there. So I literally just thought about it. I'm like, I'm telling you, as I'm watching the film the first time, my heart is beating because I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be the point of the movie where like it's either gonna just like really bother me and like they're gonna like really just kind of like try to scramble this together and make this work or make sense,
Wait, do you
or
guys realize that she did the Jedi mind trick in Force
Yeah.
Awakens?
It
You
what
doesn't
know,
make it doesn't make sense. It
Anakin
doesn't
couldn't
make
even
sense.
do that
It
in
doesn't make
Attack of the
sense.
Clones.
tell me what happened? Tell you
She used a
She said she
Jedi
did the
mind trick
Jedi mind trick.
when
in the Force Awakens. In the Force Awakens, when she manipulated the stormtrooper to release her from her restraints and let her go.
Yeah, she's extreme. She's a prodigy.
in Force Awakens, yeah, yeah, I
Very
remember that.
good.
Yes,
She's a
That's the
prodigy.
point that
she
Dos is making. You're establishing things in movie one
yes she used
that
it,
you're
bro.
not following up
Do
on
you know
in
how,
movie two.
bro?
This was before
That's a
she.
master level. Like that's a mastery of the Force. That's like you have to
I
master it.
mean, they didn't not follow up in the second movie. But what Edo's saying is that like then what that this is well we agreed on this when I said that like I don't look I'm actually honestly glad that she has regular supposedly as of now
Yeah,
has regular a regular background, but that it then creates the problem of like okay then what's the explanation for why she's able to do some of this stuff, and it's like as of right now it's like
She's a child of prophecy.
what's the
That's
deal with
basically
that?
that was their answer. That was their answer that they
I
gave
don't
us.
I don't know if it's gonna just be left like that. I don't know, man.
That's what they gave us in this movie. But
They
since
did,
Kylo Ren was born in the darkness, there has to be an equal balance in the light. So Ray, you're that equal balance. That was the answer that we got.
if that's if that's the case
Yeah.
in this scenario, I don't hate that because
wait, oh
of the
wait, no, hold on, no, even no.
time out.
What's the difference between that and being and Anakin being born from many chlorians? to
I
balance the
never.
force. What's the difference?
When did I? This is Edo. This is the case of you. This is the case of you like responding to other internet people
No,
through
no,
me.
okay, no, okay, hold on.
I never hated
Nah,
that.
hold on. Everybody watching, everybody listening, everybody in the freaking world, and all Star Wars fans out there. What's the difference between that and Anakin being born from midi-chlorians to
Edo,
balance the
talk to the
force?
people. Don't yell at me about that. I don't care.
What's the
I'm
difference?
not one of these people like. I was one of these people
If
bitching
everybody's
like
cool, if everybody's
like
cool with
Anakin
this,
midi chlorians. I
if
don't. It's
everybody's
whatever.
cool, if everybody's cool with this, do not ever bring up the midi-chlorians ever again. I don't want to hear it.
Midi
I don't want to
chlorians.
hear it.
That was a little hilarious though, but no,
Yeah,
midi
I
chlorians.
don't want to
I
hear
mean,
it.
it's a weak explanation for me. Like it was a weak explanation, but I did like the idea that he was similar to Kylo, and that they both kind of like their parents kind
Counterbalance.
of abandoned them and put them in a bad situation, and
Yeah,
they kind
yeah.
of don't have their parents anymore. Basically, is the idea behind it. They're similar.
Mm.
I
But their
did like
parents didn't
that.
abandon
Her parents
their
abandoned her.
parents. Like
Yeah,
Kylo Ren's parents didn't abandon him though.
They gave him to Luke, who almost killed him.
yeah.
So,
They didn't want to be bothered with them. They
They
just,
yeah.
no, they trained him. They gave him to Luke because they sensed that he was part of the Force, and they needed to
And
continue
then Luke,
that
his uncle,
Jedi.
almost murdered him.
but from Andre, you gotta remember, like from his perspective, he feels like it was,
That's what I mean. Emotionally, he feels abandoned by them.
yeah,
And then they didn't take his side when he turned on Luke. Like they were like, "Yo, you're evil."
Yeah,
yeah,
But
but
Luke
no. But that's an assumption you make because you don't know what happened in the process
and Luke
of him
and
doing
Luke's
that.
still soft. Luke's still
I
soft
guess.
because he didn't tell Leia and he couldn't tell Han.
Yeah,
And
he
he
really should have.
died without telling them.
Yeah, he. That's kind of that's awkward that he
That's
died without.
disgusting. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and that's not Luke the character at all.
why not? Is I mean, it's
this
been
is
how
old
many?
man Luke,
Wait,
bro.
wait, wait,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
wait. Because
But
wait. Because
he
in
left
movie
it to Ray to do it.
Kind of.
because
Yeah,
in the original trilogy, Luke is built as this optimistic dude
he's a
who though
kid
even
though.
though he's
Yeah, he's a young man.
I
Like,
finish. Can I finish? And he during his training with Yoda, it was like they was like you. And he said, "No, I'm not going to do that. That's my father." He gives Darth Vader the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact Darth Vader did way more dirt than Kylo Ren even did. Kylo Ren hadn't even done anything. So the last thing we've seen of him is someone that's willing to give someone a second chance, despite whatever they want to do. So what in that
Especially
30
family.
years changed? And so what in that 30 years changed that?
Absolutely nothing.
There,
He saw some rough things.
It's on that island, man. He got
Yeah.
rough.
that's you can't
Rough.
tell me you can't give
Yeah,
me
weak man. He
anything
was off his
that made
shit.
him change from that or
Yeah,
accept
because
that.
Leia was
okay.
out fighting, getting killed in the rebellion. Like he wasn't running to help her. So he clearly that's just how he is now. Like he's worried about himself.
What
Yeah.
changed
Oh
was
shit.
what changed was all right, Pat Nelly. Either you make an argument or you keep the side comments away. But nah, I was gonna say what changed was the world around him and
Yeah, but that's not shown. See, that's my
Wait, what
that's my
changed?
thing.
please
What
stop
changed?
interrupting me. Please stop
No,
Sorry.
because
interrupting.
what you just said, you can't use that because that wasn't showed
Wait.
at all.
I was gonna add on to that. Like, can I please stop being interrupted? What changed was the world around him, and in the case of Luke Skywalker, um, this is a man now who in his own seclusion, and his age and his bitterness to fester. I think it's just what happened was philosophically his belief system just began to be altered, and it makes sense when you think about how like he just got disillusioned with the culture of the Jedi in general.
Yeah, he was gonna burn down all the
But
Jedi.
that was after. That
Thank
was
God.
after. That was
That's
after
afterwards.
everything happened.
That was after that.
Andre's talking about before. He's talking about from Return of the Jedi to
So
when they
what?
first started training.
This man Luke can never hesitate. Like he didn't even try to kill Kylo Ren. He just thought
Yes, he
about it for
did.
like half
He
a
did. He
second.
took his life away.
He instinctually was like, I should do this, and then
Yeah.
before he could even pull back, Kylo woke up, and it was an awkward spot. So
No,
He
he was
dropped him.
pulling back.
He dropped.
He said it
yeah,
in the movie. He
exactly,
was
yeah,
pulling back already.
and Kylo just spotted him in shame, like.
Yeah.
And
So it's
dropped
not
that
even
robe
like he
on
was
his
gonna
head.
do it. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
does he have to be a pious man
Yeah.
24/7?
No.
you gotta
But
even think about it. Like
see,
come on.
Yeah,
this is
No.
where y'all are missing the point I'm saying. I'm saying what in that 30 year changed? Because Kylo Ren hadn't even done anything.
Wait, but
He
again,
literally
That dark
okay,
side, bro. He knows how
again,
powerful he is.
again. That's
Hold on.
that's just that's a moment of weakness for Luke though.
Yeah.
That's not terrible. That like, oh my God, 30 years ago he was so idealistic to not kill Darth Vader. So now 30 years later,
who had
him
done way
thinking
more
about killing
than
Kylo, pulling
Kylo
his
Ren.
sword out, pulling his lightsaber, and then saying, "Wait, nah, what am I doing?" All of a sudden that completely
But but
destroys like who he
yo,
was before. Like
No, I
it
don't mind.
does.
that's
I don't mind.
ridiculous.
No, I don't mind.
It
I
does.
don't mind. No. It's. I don't like it, but I can move past it. I just wish they would
Yeah.
have given us a little bit more. Like, did he talk to Kylo before this? Is this the first time he noticed it, and then he instantly did that, or has he
I
been
could
talking to
understand. I could
Kylo
understand that.
as
I
they've been
could
struggling?
I think he I
Has they been
think
going back and forth for a
I think
while,
Luke
and then
actually
Luke
no
just
I
couldn't
think
take it
Luke
anymore?
I think Luke said he was noticing it him becoming that.
Noticing that Snoop was introducing him to the dark side. That's the point.
Why didn't he
No,
ever talk
All
to
this
him?
stuff. All this
we
stuff
don't
is
know if he did
connected.
it or
That's the
not.
issue.
yeah
That's look. This
and
established in movie one. It's established in movie one.
and before that
I mean, I guess, like I said, I would rather have more of that than like Ray training Luke stuff. Like if they showed him training with
No,
Kylo a
my
little
thing is,
bit, like
Oh,
noticing
that would
I
be
have
that.
no
great.
issue.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I had no
I
issue
could.
with like them not showing
well time
training,
out we
I
we,
even
think.
we
though
Wait, let me.
I'm,
I think he kept it vague on purpose though, because the more they show, like I said, the more people are gonna have issues with like, why didn't he notice this, or like, why did he try to convince Luke? Why didn't Luke send Snow talking to him? Like, they're gonna have all these. They kept it purposely really, really vague so that it wouldn't contradict a lot of stuff. So like, I understand what they like. They show you as like the minimal amount they can show you that scene because they
Mhm.
know like the more they get into it, the more questionable it's gonna be that he resulted to that in the moment.
Hey, can we talk about Ray?
What about Ray?
About it.
That she's
Um,
Thick.
we can talk about her abilities. We kind of glossed. We kind of glossed
Yeah,
over her
because she was
abilities.
the least
We can
like.
talk about her abilities, or we. Could, but I would also like to talk about how I even past her abilities and how strong he is and whatever, and her parents and all that crap. I was talking to Wesley and Andre about this earlier. I think that Ray should have definitely been more conflicted
Oh
about
yeah.
where her loyalties lie.
See,
I don't think she
I
should.
feel like I never got when you said that Edo, to me the other day, Edo, because like I feel like I got a bunch of like I feel like she was super conflicted. That's why like it had
Yeah,
me
but
fooled as a
she
viewer.
ends up being a part of the resistance at the end again.
Like, yeah, but like listen, when Kylo was like kind of sweet talking to her and speaking a lot of facts and a lot of
Yeah,
sense regarding the
yeah,
situation, she
yeah,
it really did feel no as a viewer like things started to get that's another part that I was really
yeah.
feeling
Me too.
unpredictable.
Yeah,
Like
I felt
I
that too. Yeah, I felt that
I
way too.
thought Ray was really about to just kind of link up, but like yeah, you know you're right. So
Yeah,
like
but I think that should have
I
carried
sensed the
on.
conflict in her decision making.
Yeah,
It,
but that should have carried on into the end.
she
She should have
didn't
had a conversation with
she
Leia.
didn't come off
But she,
like a person. She didn't come off like a person who was like I'll never join you,
hold
get
on,
away
but
from me or anything like that.
no,
So
no, no. But Ebo, but then at the end, I think she should have had a conversation with Leia or Finn or Poe. Like, listen, guys, I
at the
don't
end of the
know.
film,
I don't. Yeah, at the end, towards the end, I don't know
She
where my place is in all of this. I don't know
she
what to
said
do.
that,
I'm not sure.
that's a quote she said like 3 times in the
Yeah,
film. Like I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
my
But
place.
that's in the beginning. But I'm talking about in the end. Like, why is she still with the resistance? Like well, after everything
I
that Luke said to her, after everything that Kylo said to her,
yeah.
she just
She seemed
blindly
like
just
she
joins him again.
yeah, she
Like she
seemed
should
like
be
she was
like,
always like
yeah,
leaning towards the resistance, but she had doubts because she felt sympathy for Kylo. Like it didn't seem like she was conflicted which side she should be on. It seemed like she
I don't.
always was leaning heavily towards one side,
And
but
I
she
don't need
didn't
her
want to
to
hurt
join. I
Kylo.
don't hold on. I don't
and
need her to
if
join Kylo. I wish she was a little bit more neutral
I wouldn't
at
mind
the
if
end of
she
the
did
film.
that.
well, here's the thing. I don't think she sees Kylo as a bad person anymore, and that's the change.
Yeah, I mean,
And not
yeah,
only that, not
That's
only
what she's conflicted about.
yeah, yeah. The major thing is that I don't think she sees him as like a change or sorry as a major threat or an enemy or a bad person. And I think if anything, what ultimately swayed her from not joining him, I think was the nature of his rhetoric to her when he was kind of telling her
hold on,
like
no, but you guys, hold on. I'm not saying she should have joined Kylo. I'm
time
saying she
out. I
should have been
know
more.
that. Wait, don't let me. I was saying something. I don't want to lose my train of thought. No, I really don't want to lose my train of thought. The nature of his rhetoric when he's kind of telling her the whole spiel about tearing the past down and really and kind of getting away with tired old structures and systems that have been kind of plaguing this galaxy and keeping things in a repetitive cycle. That was all cool and everything, and she was listening to him. But if you notice, at some point, he started kind of sounding like a dude who's really about to like start some dictatorship type business. And it was kind of one of those things like, yo, let's create a power trip situation here. Like you're Stone Cold on Triple H, we about to take over. So
Nah,
I
I think you spin facts. I don't
no
think
no
you
no I totally
Power
I agree
Rangers.
too. But I'm saying like the way because he's starting he's starting to sound a little wild and desperate, and he's getting a little like you see the jewel in his lips, like this is he just kind of got a little.
Nah, he would never get that
No,
crazy.
but she
You
should have
speak
she
factually,
should
bro.
but she should have
I
been
think
more.
what
It should
Evil's
have
saying.
affected her. It should have affected her more.
I think what Evil. I
He
don't
was
think
he was like a
Kylo
zealot. Like he was
Yeah, yeah,
promoting the
yeah.
sense.
I feel like when it kind of got into that direction, that might have rubbed her somewhat the wrong way, and she's just like, nah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go in
He was
that route.
angry. He was angry,
Yeah,
bro. It's
yeah. Hold
Kylo
on,
Ren.
but
He
that's
was
my
angry.
point. That's my point. It should have dissuaded her from joining Kylo, but it shouldn't have persuaded her to join the Resistance again.
Well,
It should have kept her. It should have kept her
that's
in the
what she
middle.
that's what she's most familiar with, and a lot of people that she associates with are in that side. So it only makes sense to, for the time being at least, naturally gravitate towards
If
that
but,
and
but
helping
people
him
talk
out
about
and
this
staying
movie
there.
taking chances, that would have been a big chance. That would have been a big risk.
Well, for her to
Saying
stupidly
that,
go buy herself and then die, like
what do you mean die? She's so strong. Who's gonna kill her?
she can do Jedi mind tricks.
nah,
She can do
nah.
Who's
Listen,
Jedi
gonna
mind
kill her?
tricks.
that's cool and all, but like, do you realize
She
that?
had, bro. She has.
Do you
She
realize? Do you
has the
realize
Jedi's heads.
Do you realize that that
Maybe she
aunt?
will be in the next movie, though. To be
Come on.
honest, like she.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's a risk.
I mean, number one,
That's a risk.
number one, obviously, Ray's not going to be staying with the Resistance for an entire film for the next film. Like, this really does feel like kind of for the time type of thing. Because it's like this is what I know, so I'm going to
Yeah.
gravitate towards what I
That's
know.
also speculation. We
I
don't
think she
know.
went back for
Bro,
Finn.
at
To
the
be
end of
honest,
the
Yeah. But
hey,
what I
you
wanted
know,
to say,
hey, my guy.
they were trying to beat up the whole movie. So
Finn
yeah,
had, Finn
yeah,
had
yeah,
to take
exactly.
Finn had to
and
Which
take
is
that's
his
why,
what
which is
time.
why
else. So,
I kind of
yeah,
like the ultimate like reunion thing. But I wanted to say
yeah.
I wanted to say like when you say like no one will stop her. I mean, yeah, she's powerful and everything, but like I mean, come on now. Did you see?
She's better. She's better than
Time
the
out.
main
Time
antagonist.
out. Time out. Listen. Did you not see what Luke Skywalker was up against? The
No
only reason,
training.
the only reason Luke Skywalker withstood the onslaught was because he was dead already. Like, do you think Ray would stand in front of all those gunshots and stuff and live? Let's come
If the
on now.
story wanted
Probably,
it to
probably,
happen,
yeah,
She
yes.
can fly. She can fly the
probably.
Millennium
Time out.
Falcon.
There will be
I'm skipping with
there will be no logic for how she would
Yo,
There's
withstand
no
that.
logic
Ebo,
why she's that strong.
If you asked me in 2015, do you think Ray will really beat Kylo Ren in a one-on-one fight? I'd
I'm
be like,
not. I'm not
no.
talking about. No. I'm not talking about. Yeah. If the plot needs her to be Kylo Ren in a 1v1, she will do it. But I'm talking about like if she was by herself without the resistance and didn't escape, right? There's no logical way for her to escape from the first orders, like all their Imperial walkers and ships and
But
weaponry
they're
and
not
everything like
all.
that.
They're not all going to be attacking one girl. They're going to
Well,
be going after
that's
resistance.
what they did
Yeah.
to Luke Skywalker. That's what they did to Luke Skywalker.
No, they only
No,
did
because
that. They only
Kylo's insane,
yeah,
and
Kyle
yeah,
using his feelings.
yeah, he was in his feelings.
I mean,
He
I
was,
think.
he was,
I think
he was,
He
also.
he literally said, shoot that guy with everything you have, right? And so, what's to say if Ray came out there to oppose him, and he knows now that Ray's not going to be on his side because of her potential to
No.
as his opposition,
There's a
You
difference.
just.
There's a difference though.
he could easily shoot. Yeah. Oh no,
He was in his feelings. He was in his feelings
because
about it.
there's a personal kind of disdain for Luke Skywalker, so that's why. But at the same time, also as a business decision, it could be one of those things where it's like, Ray.
Nah, he likes Ray a little bit. He's sympathetic. He's not.
Sure.
He knows she's conflicted, so
But
he's not
Wesley,
conflicted.
if he knew for sure that she's not gonna link up, like he'd be like, you know what? Before she
Yeah, yeah. He would have died. He would have
yeah,
died.
but before she kind of like gets any stronger and really opposes us, and this gets iffy. Let's try to kill her right now. So
Also,
and if they attempted
I
to,
want to
she would
talk
die.
about.
go
I
ahead.
want to talk about those. I want to talk about those lightsaber matches.
Oh, well,
All right, wait one second.
They were all really good.
We get into that right now. But I won't say. I also think like, it's a little bit speculative, but from what I saw, like like Finn, he was never 100% like devoted to the cause and all that.
Yeah.
In this movie, like he was again gonna lose. He was gonna desert because he's just there for Ray at the beginning. That's why
Right.
Rose like stunned him and stuff.
Mhm.
But at this point, by the end of the movie, he's somehow gone through this arc where he's ready to die for the cause and everything.
And
Like he's ready to completely sacrifice himself. So I do think
the change was done through the change was spurred on and driven through the Rose character to kind of make him
through Rose and also through seeing another potential self through the Benicio del Toro character, like the grifter guy from the jail cell. I think he saw a potential where he could be, and he didn't like it even more.
Yeah.
But so now I think the dynamic between him and Ray is going to be a little bit different going into the third movie, because I do think she probably, now that she went on a different journey and she saw like the side of everything. With,
exactly.
Luke. So I think she's going to be a little bit not as into the whole idea of the resistance as Finn is now. I think Finn's resolve is strengthened toward that side.
And that's a perfect avenue you could explore, because it's like, and plus films do this though, like also because like they're reunited here, and it's like there's still another film to go, and so you can't expect smooth sailing for the next 2.5 hour film, and so one of the conflicts
I think that's a good.
To quote,
I think that's a good conflict.
To quote the great Magneto, I made that mistake once before. Not again.
Oh my goodness!
You don't want to get your hopes up. I think that.
Well, I don't think it's hopes. I think it's just logic dictating that, like.
It's set up. I think that's one of the things that's set up. And Abrams is back. The Force Awakens. Abrams is back for the finale. He's back for the finale. So you're gonna get.
Come on. Cockbums is back. So like. Fat cockbums. Well,
I wish they would have just gave him the 3
leg bum.
No,
he didn't want to at first.
And not only that, like Abrams is a little safe, but he's very logical, and he's gonna so you know what I think. So if you could make an analogy, look, Abrams gave you he gave you what you needed for the Force Awakens to get things started. Rian Johnson did some interesting things to take things in an interesting direction, and then Abrams like, I'm back to kind of tie this up neatly. I
think that actually probably will work the best. That second movie, their choices Abrams would have made
repetitive second.
Yeah, Abrams would have made a lot of those choices. So now he has to like clean it up, and it's probably going to be a more interesting finale than it would have been.
Exactly. So in a weird way, it might be for the best that it turned out like this.
I think he's probably going to get the best one's probably going to be the last movie, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so too, because Abrams did great with Force Awakens, and now he has some interesting directions to kind of work with.
Yeah.
That are more interesting than where he left off. So yeah. So yeah.
I'm not, like I said, whether it was planned out or not, I'm not so sure that J.J. Abrams had like perfect explanations for all the stuff he was setting up either.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I think he was just setting things up.
I honestly think for some of it, like he didn't even have an answer, and he's like, it may be one of those like, let's hope to figure out something like good at some point.
So I think it was.
This man did not set things up and had like on paper written down like, this is what the answer to this is, and this is what that is, and this is what that is. Because if that was the case, then the movie to movie transition from Force Awakens to Last Jedi, even with different directors, some of those things would link. I mean, it was smooth to me, but like when Andre Neto kind of say like, oh, but in this movie this happened and that, and it's like there's some kind of discrepancies. It's like if there was actual like written down like answers to what some of these things were, then that wouldn't be the case regardless of who's directing. So I think Abrams really just kind of set certain things up and just kind of left it up in the air. And
I don't know.
You can't carrying up like he didn't care. Like he was like, oh, it's gonna be this, and he just burned the script. I don't think that.
Did they not like talk though, man?
Maybe not.
I mean, he's credited as a producer. Man, but was he even involved?
I've learned in my life, never take the executive producer title seriously in anything.
It's just executive producer is just a formality title.
Yeah, I never take that title seriously.
It's just because he was probably involved with a lot of the stuff before the new director came in.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
It's just bad organization throughout the movie from movie to movie.
I,
I mean, it wasn't as jarring as it could have been. Like,
yeah, like I don't think like I didn't come in this movie feeling like it's like where what like I didn't come in going like damn did like what was
yeah,
Force Awakens even part of the same like chronologically thing?
yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't like this is what the hell is this, like this is a completely different like
It's not.
story and
I wouldn't
characters and
say.
everything.
I wouldn't
It
say it's jarring, but
It's noticeable. Like
it's noticeable. Oh, it's
I,
noticeable.
I think the only thing noticeable is the different director because it's different. It's a different
Like
structure for the film. That's
yeah,
the only
you
thing
know,
noticeable.
it's like a completely different vision. Like
like you
Yeah,
like I
yeah. Well, that's the noticeable part because it's like, yeah, like I'm watching this going like, yeah, this doesn't like feel like J.J. Abrams directing it. Like it does feel like a different director with his own kind of style and his own kind of imprint on the thing. But it
Of course,
isn't.
it's not J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not
Obviously,
enough lens flares, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Lens flare.
That's the only thing that's like noticeable. But like in regards to like in regards to anything beyond that, I think that could just be chalked up to the different direction. So yeah, but again, I really did appreciate I appreciated this.
What do you guys think of the new characters?
I
wait, hold
appreciate.
on, wait. Andre wants to talk about
Okay. Oh yeah,
the
the
lightsaber.
lightsaber
Yeah.
fights.
I thought they were great to be honest.
well,
Eh.
one
The
what
the hype monger in me wish we got a gratuitous extended 10 minutes of each, but for no purpose then other than just to see them. But for the purpose of the film, like I thought they were great. But go ahead
here's the
on.
thing. They were a lot of this. They were trying to like be like the original, even like how they displayed Yoda, like how they show Yoda in this movie wasn't like the prequels, like the CGI. It was more. It was
You're
more of a
talking about the
puppet.
puppeteer, the
Yeah,
puppeteer.
it was more like reminiscence towards the old movie.
Well, for the record, Yoda was a puppet in episode one. What George Lucas went back and CGI'd him in 2005.
That's fine.
Continue.
Yeah. Um, but they try to do that with the lightsaber matches too.
Well,
Like not
they're trying to capture the energy of having dramatic duels that are dramatic specifically because of specifically done through camera work and through the emotional weight of it rather than just like really cool like unnecessary flips and dives and twists and turns and stuff like that.
like a
But
like a samurai movie versus like a kung fu movie.
so like
okay.
it's more like we're gonna scale these down.
Okay.
We're gonna make these dramatic. We're gonna like have instead of having a large
Okay.
quantity of.
All right.
Is he responding to me or his job?
No, that was job.
Oh, okay. Instead of I think it went for quality over quantity. So it's like instead of having a large amount of just of just
Choreography.
flips into kind of gratuitous choreography and like a 10-minute sequence thing like that where it's just literally there just to be the obligatory cool fight of the film. It's more of like every hit matters, everything matters, every
See,
attack matters.
see.
That's why Kylo Ren charging at Luke Skywalker with full malice and full intention to kill him
Yo, that
is
was
more is more impactful because it's like it's
Yeah,
not like it's not like tic tac we're clashing I want to fight you. It's like they're scoring off, the camera's
All right.
dramatic, the framing of the whole scene was done, it was shot amazingly,
All right.
and then
All right. All right.
it's like I'm charging right at you.
All right. So
So
this is where I gotta like
sick.
call you guys out because y'all said it was implied training, right? At a certain point when they were fighting those red ninja dudes,
Hmm?
she was literally swinging her sword like a novice scared child.
I don't know. I don't remember her being that.
That when she was
But
fighting the dude with the two swords, her last.
but when I
person,
said implied,
she,
when I said implied training, though, I meant like I didn't mean he trained her like lightsaber fighting and like training her how to use like be force sensitive and stuff like that. Like that, those are two different
yeah,
trainings. I mean, he was like training her how
they
to
were
harness
wielding
the
a
force.
lightsaber in the previous film.
Yeah.
and two,
Yeah.
like she, this is the problem. Like she's so strong and she can do this. She can do Jedi mind tricks, but and she has her own staff that she's practiced with. But the fact that one, we didn't really get a Jedi dude in this fight, and it's for this movie to be called The Last Jedi to me was very very disappointing. Like
No,
it's
Yeah, no, well, there's only one left.
I think the theme of the film and the way it was written it perfectly suits the title. Actually,
no,
but
but you don't get no real Last Jedi stuff. And you don't get actual like
Well,
an epic duel. You don't get none of that.
Come on. When was this called The Last Jedi's Final
No,
Duel?
no,
Like
but
when
no,
is
no,
this,
no. But when you have no,
when is this called
when you have when
the Last Stand of the Last Jedi?
well
Like is
no,
this?
but when you have where you haven't seen Luke in 30 years, and then like Kylo Ren was his original, like he was Kylo Ren's original trainer. You would think like they would be way more more
Yeah,
Jedi duels than we got. We didn't
I
get any
think
Jedi duels.
like
I
Yoda in the
there was no
original.
saber
There was
clashes in the
there
movie.
was no saber clashes at
No.
all.
Not
I
one.
think I think the way they did it with Luke and Kylo was 10 times more impactful than
No, it
anything we
wasn't.
would have gotten
If you're gonna
if
kill
they
him,
lose it.
if you was gonna kill him, you should have just had him be there physically.
I guess.
No, oh no,
I
hell
don't
no,
have
hell
an
no, hell
issue
no,
with
no.
it.
Hold on.
Cause
Narratively and allegorically, I
cause
thought
one,
that was the best thing about Luke Skywalker in the film, and I think even though a lot of people kind of disagree with certain things regarding Luke in his decision making in the middle, I think like it should be kind of like respected of how he was written off because this man finally gave himself up to nature and gave himself up to the balance, gave himself up to the ether that balances the force itself. Am I still in the call?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you are.
Yeah. So and so it's almost like that's the first major post Yoda speech decision that Luke Skywalker does, and it's one that kind of gives way for that next generation to kind of forge their own path and create their own decision on what's going to happen. So he gets to live out his own desire of the Jedi do need to die, and I'm going to let these kids kind of figure. I'm gonna let these kids escape and see what happens there. And
but
in doing so, I'm also gonna plant this seed of doubt in Kylo Ren and give myself up to this nature and be at peace with that decision. Because here's the thing: Luke Skywalker has not been at peace with anything because of Kylo Ren. This is a man who was disillusioned. This is a man who was broken. This is a man who doubted his own lifestyle up to this point now. And now, after talking to Yoda and getting that final kind of just breath of fresh air and that kind of that gem from the wiser man, the man with the fourth eye, not a third eye. The man has a fourth eye, Yoda. At this point now, Luke feels stronger than ever. Sorry, feels more strongly to just kind of let to be at peace with the decision to let them die like he believes, but also do it in a way where he kind of stays true to the nature of his teaching, stays true to who he
it,
is, and in doing so, he beautifully gives himself up. He projects himself out. He projects himself out. The Luke that Leia last saw. That it's like a 10 years younger Luke,
yeah, that's
and
why
I
I
think
mean
I think.
I didn't
Well,
respect that.
no, it's beautiful though, because he's giving out that last idealized vision of himself, not this
Yeah,
broken. Not listen, not this
a
broken.
false, his
Not,
false self.
sure, you can see it that way, but you can
It
also
is that
interpret
way.
it. Sure, okay, sure, but you can also interpret it as like instead of coming out as this desolate, beaten man, I'm gonna come out as Luke Skywalker, triumphant Jedi Master, who's going to go out there and I'm going to teach Kylo Ren a lesson. I'm not gonna beat him, but I'm gonna beat him without actually beating him. And in doing so, I'm also going to go away. I'm going to dissolve. I'm going to be one with the Force and fade out into the sunset while paving a path for the resistance to continue on with their cause and continue on the hope throughout the galaxies. And that's something that they were trying to do.
Gosh.
No, you can snore, but narratively that's beautiful. Like
That okay,
it's
okay,
really
all
it's
right. See,
beautiful.
this is
So so
okay, okay,
I actually like the Luke stuff at the end.
okay,
it was beautiful.
okay, okay.
What did you think of the lightsaber fights? Though?
Wait, hold
Really?
on, wait. Andre
Okay.
about to rebuttal
So
that.
The
you
best one
said
was
all
the best one like just action wise
Hold
was Phasma and Finn, by the way. But
go
what?
ahead.
What?
I
Wait, Andre.
That
Wait, hold on.
that
Wait,
was,
Andre.
that was fire.
Rebuttal to Ibrahim's point first, and then we can
So
go.
Wait,
this dude,
before he said, "You are always scum, rebel
this dude
scum,
can this dude can
rebel
Outta here.
scum.
this dude
That was
continues to
rebel
live a
scum."
lie though.
but
That's
go
my thing.
ahead.
He
Andre,
continued to live a lie. That's
Who,
the issue.
Luke?
He didn't learn from anything. Yeah, he continued to live a lie throughout the entire thing. You say
Because he
he's at peace with living a lie with himself, not telling his sister that I
no,
tried
he's
to
at peace with the terms of his death, and he's at peace with the direction of the galaxy itself, because he has faith. That's why he was willing to give himself up. He saw the way he was going to go out as the major chip that's going to be a turning point for the resistance. That's why he decided to sacrifice himself the way he did. He said, I'm gonna mentally trump this kid right now, and this will be my way of kind of making up for creating Kylo in the first place. But I'm gonna do this and let the resistance kind
But he
of
didn't really
escape.
he didn't really correct Kylo though.
That well, he believes that he did, and he says that he did,
Right.
and we see that he.
And then
I'm
two,
what
then two, in movie one, why did he leave a map to himself? Like he states, I want to die here alone with no one to find me. But why did you leave a
I mean.
why did you leave a
Well,
Because
map
he
to
time out,
wasn't
yourself?
time out,
he
time out,
wasn't
time
trying
out,
to he
time
wasn't
out.
trying to die
Time out.
alone.
We don't know the timing. We don't know the timing of when the map was instilled within
Yo,
R2D2.
We do know it was right
oh
after
my god.
it was right after the temple was burned, Ibrahima. Right after Kylo
Yeah.
burned the temple, he put his hand on R2D2 and put the map in R2D2. That's right when he did it. Right when Kylo burned the temple. Like
Interesting.
Maybe
When
he changed
Kylo
his
left,
mind though. Maybe he changed his mind.
Kylo maybe changed his when
Maybe he changed his
Kylo
mind.
left. That's
Or
some
Listen,
maybe the
listen,
map was
man.
for
that's
Listen,
sad,
Kylo.
man.
bro.
Maybe the
Listen,
map
man.
was for Kylo. You
Listen,
know.
man. Listen, man.
Maybe.
Doubtful and sensitive men. Sometimes we do this double speak
Oh my
thing
god.
where
Oh my god.
we say something, but we want other things deep
I'm not
down.
entertaining this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not entertaining this.
Cause no, Andre, listen, Luke's kind of soft, man. He has that
He is,
soft
man.
mentality. Yeah, and
You
then
know, he,
so
you know,
I'm not entertaining this.
he's
and also the Skywalkers in general are just soft men,
yeah,
but you know
bro. Yeah, that's
Yo,
what
they're soft men.
it's like yeah,
the map in movie one, it said like it's hinted that that map is important. Like Lucas withholding
yes,
something important. Does it not?
yes, yeah. He
That's your
withheld his
No,
interpretation.
no,
specific
it's not the
location in
interpretation, yo.
R2D2. What he withheld
Wait,
his specific
time out,
because
time out.
because
For
they
the record, for
had
the record, for the record, for the record. I mean, when you talk about important and information, right? I mean, let's not forget that at the start of this movie, the temple has like these old Jedi manuscripts and
That
texts
end
that
up
he.
not meaning anything.
no, but here's
Listen,
the thing.
listen,
Go ahead.
listen. We start the movie with him thinking that they're so sacred, they're so important, they're so this and they're so that, and it looked like he may have potentially given them to Rey, but Yoda kind of illustrates to him that like
No, Ray stole him.
that they
Ray stole him.
mean nothing. So that could be a part of it where it's just like if the right person comes to me, I can drop the game on them until the actual master dropped game on Luke and said no, that ain't the game. That's just not that's just that's irrelevant basically. So
All right.
you know
What?
Wait, but not only did he leave a map.
All right.
No,
terms,
it's
in
not the
layman's
map.
terms.
It's just what you're saying is dumb as
No,
fuck.
no, but not only
All
did he
right.
leave
Well,
a map,
personal tax
he wouldn't
aside,
let R2.
the
He
thing
would.
about
Oh my! He wouldn't let
All
R2
right.
wake up until the Force was awakened again.
yeah.
So
Time
he wanted
out. Yeah.
Ray to find. He
No,
wanted
he
Ray
didn't
to
want
find him,
Ray to find him.
or
He
whoever
it
awakened the Force
I
before.
guess one of those things of like whoever's like worthy in the next in line
Yeah,
that
yeah.
can so find me, do so. But um I was gonna say though, like in terms of like what
I mean,
knowledge or
when
things that
y'all say this stuff, like, do y'all really believe this? What y'all saying?
Hey, don't.
I don't.
You're saying y'all, but I'm not.
That's my thing. Like, when y'all come up with these explanations that the movie doesn't
I
even
just
say, do
wish
y'all
y'all
really
defended
believe
the
yourselves?
prequels like this,
Well,
man. They
I mean,
Well,
within the film, we see that he does
yeah.
see
I
the
mean,
Jedi text as like super sacred and super important
No, I'm just talking
things that
about
he's holding on
overall.
to.
Like some of these explanations that y'all have come up with
In
was
terms of
not even in the movie.
In terms of Luke's grand finale within the film, that's 100%. Yeah, yes.
You know,
So,
like, so do y'all believe half the shit that's coming out of your mouths?
I don't understand the disrespect, but yes, everything that I've said so far is
So,
stuff that I believe.
because
I'm
like
not saying things I don't
you're
believe.
talking about the movie, didn't hint at this, it didn't hint at that, and it's just like, well, that's none of that's true. Like you talking about, it wasn't hinted that Snoke or established that Snoke wasn't that brought him to the dark side. That's established in movie one, And then you could then, but later
Time
y'all
out, time
come
out, time
out
out. No,
and
that's
say,
not
well,
established. That's not established. That's said by other
yes, it
characters.
is.
But that's the public. That's the public's belief, and we already
No,
know
that's
in this film.
established.
No. Listen, no. All we can. All, no, that's just stuff that
Yo,
characters say, and
Idosa,
that's stated
Idosa,
about
you,
him.
Yeah,
Like,
what you
Idosa,
what
was it not established
How is it said?
that what that
How is
what
it presented?
that
that what?
that Snoke is the one that introduced him to the dark side?
Yeah, that was in Force Awakens
that's
and
literally just
Who
in
says it?
universe here. That's literally
Wait,
in universe hearsay.
Leia
Like,
Leia says that to Han.
who says
and
it?
guess
All
what?
right,
And guess
well,
what? Guess what? Leia doesn't know the true story.
she was
So
lied to, so it
No,
doesn't
no,
yeah,
matter.
no, no.
like
She
Leia doesn't
doesn't.
know the
She
true
doesn't. No,
story.
she
What?
doesn't. No,
Wait,
no, no.
hold
She
on.
doesn't.
Are you guys like writing the script? How do you know
Leia
that
doesn't
Leia's
know.
lying?
Wait, time out. Leia doesn't know
Wait,
the story. Leia was lied to. This was confirmed.
By who? By
in
who?
this movie, he says
In this,
he didn't tell them. What?
Leia was lied
What do you mean? What do you
to.
mean? Who lied to Leia? Who lied to Leia?
Luke.
Wait, time.
What do
Yeah.
Luke didn't
you
talk to Leia. Luke didn't talk to Leia. Luke didn't talk to
Time
Leia
out, time
about
out,
that.
time out.
Him trying to
And
kill his nephew.
since you keep using time out, since you keep going to the first one as a reference, Leia's under the assumption that oh yeah, our son's the way he is because Kylo Ren did I mean not sorry because Snoke and the Order took over with him and that's what happened. But it's like no, Luke reiterates and says like nah, it was me.
No,
So like
no, no,
No,
no,
that's
no,
not. No,
no.
let me
that's
rephrase
not.
it.
That's
Jesus.
not
I
what it
just say
does.
it's like Obi-Wan blaming himself for Darth Vader. It's not, but we
No,
know. Yes, it is, but we know what it really is.
no, we
No,
don't,
here's.
What do you mean?
I'll
Kylo
let
mentioned
Wesley
it
talk.
too. Wait,
I,
Kylo repeatedly
I'm gonna let
mentions.
Wesley finish.
Do you know what happened like on the island when we were
Yeah,
alone? Like
he says to Ray like.
he clearly says that's what turned
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
Like that was a big
yeah,
That's
factor.
no,
It's not the
no.
wait.
Kylo kept
Wait,
kind of like
wait,
telling Ray like you don't know
wait,
that guy that you're
wait,
with, like basically, like
Wait,
you
hold
don't.
on, no, hold on.
wait.
So
Before you go on a rant about this, look, it may not be the sole factor, but it was a big factor. It wasn't like he was already dark side and Luke's
No, no.
influence had
Yeah,
nothing to do with it. Like it
I think
was a
that's where
huge
we're.
factor.
I
yeah,
think that's where
I
we're
didn't say
getting
Yeah,
it wasn't a
disconnect.
factor.
I think that's
Yeah,
where we're getting
yeah.
disconnected at. Okay,
Okay,
I think what we're saying is there. It's established that Snoke is somehow in the picture, given the fact that he's the
okay.
one that introduced the Ren. Because that's why he searched his mind. He said, "I knew that there was
and the
some
truth
darkness."
about Darth Vader.
Yeah, yeah. That is that introduction to the dark side, right? So it's already a snowball happening. There's already a snowball kind of happening.
we
Luke,
still have no
no,
confirmation of the
no,
timeline of Kylo invading his mind.
yeah,
We still have no
listen, what I'm
confirmation of
saying
the
is,
timeline of him invading his
what
mind.
I, yo, it's established that
We still
Snoke,
have no we
I
have
don't. Yeah, I don't
you
know if you'll
the
ever
more
say
you
this.
repeating the word established doesn't
no,
change the
but
fact
it
that
is established.
All right, let's assume.
actual
No,
confirmed
All right,
timeline.
all right. Then
Of,
no,
everybody's the
wait,
unreliable narrative. Then,
no,
then
hold up, because I
everybody's
gotta
the
reply
unreliable
to that.
narrative. Then narrator. Then
I gotta reply to that.
I
I don't,
already do see most
no,
characters as unreliable narrators, but anyway,
no, wait, hold on.
so then
You're
no,
saying
so then
there's
nothing in
no
the
reliable
movie.
timeline.
So nothing in
You're
the
saying
movie
it's
is
no.
true or not
no,
true.
No, no.
not nothing isn't true, but not everything is wrong. The way I do take the narration is just kind of like that's the character's perspective on things. That's why
Yeah,
when Wesley
it's
says,
filtered through that
yeah,
perspective.
that's why when Wesley says Kylo's like feels like he was abandoned by his parents and stuff, and you guys are like no he wasn't. I'm like well clearly he isn't, but like that's his perspective, and
So
and
is
the
Yeah, he
Kylo
film
feels
lying?
the
that
film
way.
So is Kylo lying to Rey about her parents being nobody?
we don't know,
We don't know for
or he
sure.
may be
So
wrong.
so
Yeah.
wait. So is
We
this
don't
film?
know.
Is this film just hedging its bets?
No, it's
What's
literally
that?
it's literally conflicting perspectives. Like
Yeah,
that's another point of the
yeah.
film also. Like
That was a
it's
big point in the film because like
yeah,
Kylo in that moment when he saw Luke, he thought for sure Luke was coming to kill him, but Luke had already made his decision not to. But in that moment,
exactly.
Kylo just saw him and was like, "He's trying to kill me right now." So
No.
then he
Hmm.
So then if we so then if we can't take it
Factual.
so if we can't take the Luke story as truth, if we can't take Kylo's story as truth, then the film. So what you're telling me is they
No,
can tell us
no,
one thing in one film and tell us
we
another thing in
time
another
out.
film,
I'm not gonna, and we
and then we're
know
just gonna keep going
no
back and forth.
no. Luke's story isn't dishonest to us. He wasn't totally honest with his sister.
You know what I'm saying? Is Kylo not being totally honest to Rey? Doesn't that just open a can
No,
of
I
worms?
mean,
No, no,
no,
Is
it's
no,
is
we don't.
no.
no,
He's
no,
not
no,
lying.
no.
He's telling the story from his perspective. From his
Exactly.
perspective, like
Exactly.
What
Luke's
Luke
about to
did
kill him.
was withhold
Luke,
information.
Luke tried to kill him. Yeah, Luke
Yeah,
wasn't transparent. Luke
Yes.
wasn't transparent.
yeah,
Yes.
Luke was
Luke
About
wasn't
what?
withholding.
trans. Luke
He
wasn't.
was withholding information.
Mm-hmm.
and what
But
does all this have to do with Snoke?
cause Snoke is the point is Snoke is the one that was showing him the dark side. That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
what Luke was saying. Like he said he felt something.
All
He
right.
said in
Look,
his mind he felt something.
that's when you get into personal interpretation. Because showing someone the dark side and then being influenced by it
It's the
are
same thing.
not.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing
They're
Palpatine did
not.
with It's the same thing with the Sith did with Anakin though. He just showed them.
Yeah, but I mean that's the reason. It like that's up for interpretation. We don't know because
He was
Mm-hmm.
showing
we
no,
didn't
no,
see
but no.
Kylo
Exactly.
Ren in the moment. Like we didn't see him react to it, so we don't know what was going on.
So you're saying basically we can't judge this until we see the next movie.
Yeah, that's basically what you're saying
That's
I
basically
mean,
what
you
you're
could
saying.
judge a
Bullshit.
movie
of
as
the
much
dark
as you
side.
want. I'm just saying we don't have confirmation
Yo,
Nah,
it's
but I'm
of
confirmed.
serious though. You guys, and
Kylo's
I'm glad
reaction
I'm glad that you
of
guys I'm
House
glad
of
that you
Seth.
guys are willing to do it. I'm not willing to do it a second time. I'm not. But
Bull-
I'm happy as a Star Wars fan. I'm happy that you guys are willing to do it for me.
I am, bro.
But I'm not
JJ back in the
emotionally.
driver's
I'm not.
seat.
I'm not emotionally ready. I'm not emotionally ready to do that again, bro. I'm not getting
Listen,
Bro,
listen.
ready.
it's Star Wars.
I'll just be
It's Star
ready.
Wars.
Let go
And
of your
Joseph,
let go of your personal emotion
film
with the series
franchise
and
of
just.
all time,
I,
Star
it
Wars.
is. It is. But I can't. I'm not emotionally ready
I don't.
Oh,
I
come
just.
on,
to
Edo
give my.
man, just
all
Edo
It's
you
like
man,
can
y'all
do,
didn't.
get over it, man, and just.
It's like
all
y'all
you
didn't
can do
even
is hope
watch
for the
the
best.
first
That's
one.
all you can do.
Oh, of
Mm,
course,
Well,
I'm hoping for the best. But
But
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna
I,
make an assumption because I thought things would happen. I was sure of things happening, and they didn't, and I'm salty.
I mean, okay,
So,
well. Then again, the conclusion is what it
yeah, I
is.
just know.
It's a
I just.
conclusion. It's conclusive. But again, I think you know, sure, if you really look into it and stuff, and like you know, you get into the lore and you get into kind of the previous films and stuff, there may be a few things sloppy in terms of connecting. But I think where this film shines its strongest is from a thematic standpoint and from a standpoint of the characters, because I think all the new characters that were introduced in the Force Awakens are all moved in interesting directions in this film, and I think the majority of them have developed into even better characters, and they've all kind of
yeah,
gotten better and bigger, and it's almost like we're starting to see these new characters who are kind of working and intermingling with past elements and characters from the previous film, right? Like stormtroopers or Akbar or some of these other old characters and familiar faces and familiar vehicles, or Han Solo or Leia and Luke. Now we're starting to see these characters kind of come into their own and be the forefront and be the characters that kind of forge their path to kind of wrap up the rest of the storyline. And I really personally appreciate that. Well, so for me, it's like I appreciate this film specifically
I respect that.
for I appreciate I appreciate this film taking the new characters, making all of them taking all of them in interesting directions, making a lot of them better, specifically Kylo, specifically Poe, um,
oh
and doing that. And I like it from a thematic standpoint also of how like even the things that I didn't particularly enjoy that much, they make sense within the context of the movie, and the film ties itself together by the end to kind of make even the parts that whether they were done the best, it makes sense. So like for example, like the kid seeing the resistance people flying across the galaxy, and that kid was one of those like hurting, like there was like that African boy and those other kids or whatever, like because it ties with the theme of hope, and it ties with the theme of like that hope never dying because of the way the world works and stuff, and it's specifically the Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker, who plays the biggest instrumental role in helping keep that hope alive for this next generation to kind of prevail. So yeah, thematically, I thought that was the strongest thing about this movie.
yeah, I think
Uh, I,
that thematically definitely
yeah,
strong.
thematically, the character work is great. I think whether the characters were good or not, I think across the board there were good performances, and there was actually a few standout performances. Wesley was kind of just like middle on her, but I thought Carrie Fisher did a really nice job in this film. I thought she worked also great in that mother role to Poe, and really helped strengthen his character arc. Like Edosa said earlier, that long neck chick, that ostrich neck chick with the purple hair.
Motherfucker.
I hated her so much, and like as a viewer,
She was cool.
yeah, as a viewer, you watch Poe and you're like ah man, I can't wait till he shows her, man. I can't wait till he bodies her and this and that. But it's like we got taught a lesson along with Poe, and it's like nah, this is how it really works, and it made it look bad when she
Yeah.
actually was the one to sacrifice. So that's realistic. I love the way that they took different characters and made their own commentary, the bigger commentary of the story through the characters like that the pickpocket dude. Um,
Yeah,
the
I think it did a good job of. I had expectations because like where the characters were gonna go in
yeah,
the Force Awakens. I think it subverted a lot of the expectations
yeah,
with the second movie. Like I didn't expect any of them to go in this direction except Ray.
yeah.
So like
Like we
like
knew we
every
knew Ray was gonna
yeah
see Luke and that
yeah
kind of thing, but with the other
yeah
characters, is like nah, we didn't really know. So again, and what he said was something I agree with, and not that I didn't think about it, but it makes a lot of sense about how like Finn is a changed man now too, of how like he starts the film clearly like kind of one sided in his thinking towards Ray, but it's like he comes off of it different by through his experiences, kind of seeing a little bit more of the world around him through this girl, and are talking about kind of like how some of these people have been used by the last order and all that kind of thing. And at the end of it, it strengthens his own kind of allegiance and respect for the resistance. So yeah, I thought a lot of the characters were moved in interesting directions. I thought they developed the best. I um I thought the visuals were nice. I thought the moments that were supposed to be heartfelt were heartfelt. I thought the minute Yoda scene came up, which is just a treat, it was beautiful. It was a
Great
movie
scene.
making moment for me.
Great scene.
I think everything post the Yoda scene was just on point, and I thought it was like a turning point in the film. And again, like I said, I think it ties itself together nicely. And so Ryan Johnson, I think, in my opinion, delivered a second installment that that um that created that sets the stage for Abrams to have the potential to do a lot of really interesting things as a finale, because he has a lot to play with now, seeing as the playing field and the paradigm is completely not just shifted, it's destroyed and remade. So I appreciate that, and no, it is remade. It is
All right,
remade though, because
all right. This is just long-winded, man.
he's
Like,
cutting so much of promo for the
I was
next movie.
ending. No, I was
Yeah,
ending it.
it
I was ending my
worked for
point
Lucas.
because
You you
I
felt
don't
like
I
you
don't
had
really
something to say. That was
I'm
good.
not trying to like fight about this anymore. Like so I want to like leave nothing left. But yeah like the parrot.
I mean,
But you just made a bunch of points that I completely disagree with. But what you about to?
That's
hold
fine.
on,
No,
hold on.
I was like 99% done, but
All
whatever.
right, I have a question though. Real quickly. All right, the movie's called The Last Jedi. And Ibrahim obviously is saying that Luke is the Last Jedi. Who is the Last
No,
Jedi in
it's
the
Ray.
movie?
No,
Is
no,
it Luke? Is
it's
it
Ray.
Ray? Or
No,
is it
it's
No,
Ray.
Sadly,
it's
It's
Ray.
Ray. It's Ray. It's Ray.
It's
It's
Ray,
Ray.
right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Snook had several apprentices before he
Yeah.
became invested in the Skywalker bloodline.
Hmm?
I mean, it's saying it right here. This page that Snook is the one that influenced that showed Ben the dark side.
What's
I just don't get how can you argue that?
Hold on. I'm making my soup right now.
Like, how can like it's physics right
Just
here.
just
Wait,
just
wait, wait.
enjoying some
Snoke pushed him
hearty
to the dark
food while
side.
reminiscing on a wonderful film.
Yeah. All right, wait. The point you're making. The point you're making is that that it wasn't Luke, right? That did anything
No, no,
wrong
no,
or
no. That's not the
something.
point. I think. All right. I think there's a when it comes to Kylo Ren,
Mm-hmm.
there's two people that influenced him Ben Solo to become Kylo Ren. All right. The early
Okay.
influence is Snoop because he's introducing him to from the dark side, right? So that creates the snowball effect. Right? Luke Skywalker is searching his mind and seeing that, and then having that moment of thinking, "I should just kill him." is what completely flips it around.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're both right.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
disagree
saying
with
is
that.
in that section, right? We see Luke's portion of it, but we don't get to see Snoke.
It's a matter of perspectives, man.
No, it's not a matter of perspective. I just told you.
Yeah.
Like I just said,
Okay.
we're both right.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I mean,
they didn't show that, and the fact that
I meant perspectives from the characters.
one,
yeah. I mean, it would make it.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, then in movie one, to show where Snoke came from, like how did he get so strong and with the Force? He even states that in the closing moments of the movie one, he says, "So I can finish his training." There's things that they're leading into with the closing of movie one that should have been shown in movie two.
Wait,
I
time
mean,
That
he
wasn't
did.
shown.
He did finish his training though. He did.
No, he didn't. The movie picks up.
No, I'm saying
Immediate-
correct.
The movie picks up days
No.
after the Force Awakens,
It's not even days.
or like
Yeah, it was
minutes.
like the second. It was like a second after. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
minutes, which is just plain old stupid.
Why was that stupid,
What's stupid? What's stupid about that?
I mean, I just wanted like a few months.
Your desires your desires aside.
Don't cut him off. Don't cut him
No,
off.
no, no, no. I was your desires.
Don't cut him off. That was
Actually, hold
That
on.
was rude.
Wait,
Don't cut
Pat,
him
now,
off.
I apologize, but
Don't come. Yeah, no, don't.
your desires aside, why is that bad?
Don't-
Why is it bad?
Why are you?
Because like I what I wanted was like a few months. A few months have passed.
I'm hearing wants, bro.
For the, what?
I'm hearing wants. I'm not hearing. Why this is bad. Besides just what you prefer to want it.
My God.
Continue, man.
Can I answer the question?
Go ahead. No. I don't say it because of course you're gonna be able to say it. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, man.
You wanted a few months to be coming.
No. So it sucked because you wanted more months.
Yes, just for Rey to get training. Because
Got you.
When you look at that lightsaber battle with her and Kylo versus those red motherfuckers, the chick is holding her own when she shouldn't because she has very lack of training.
She held her own against Kylo Ren in the first film when she had no
Kylo Ren's
training.
stronger than those guys.
Even that's bullshit as well.
So, but it was established within the film, the film.
Yeah.
So then you can't.
It'll
You
make
can't,
less sense.
Yeah, it would make less sense.
Guys to wreck her after she read Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't really explain where she get that power from, though.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. But it doesn't further.
The first movie.
Yeah, like
you just gotta go with it.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you can't just forego that.
No.
Like it was established. Kylo Ren is stronger than those guys.
Yeah.
So logically, she should be able to fight against those guys too.
Yeah, if she could hold, listen, she had no training in the first film, and she was,
Yeah, but she fought.
hanging
Wait.
Whoa.
No
training.
Wait. Hold on. See, here's the thing. She fought Kylo Ren after he was shot by Chewie, and after he was going through an emotional struggle with killing his dad.
Listen. Wounded Kylo would wash these dudes anyway.
No.
So.
No, that's not the point. But the point is, you're not considering the context of what's happening.
I mean, I'm not saying like full like she was out here like about to body this dude, but at the end of the day, she didn't get completely murked by this guy, and she never even wielded a lightsaber.
Because
she didn't even know what the Force was, and
he was unbalanced, and that's the whole point of being in the Force.
I think she did. Like I only saw the scene once, obviously, but it seemed like Kylo Ren was handling himself a lot better than she was in the situation. Like against the Red Soldiers, like he was definitely.
She was just hanging in there. She was
He was definitely way more skilled.
She threw the man a lightsaber, and the man like just shot a dude's face out by on sight.
He was doing way most of the work in that battle against Snoke. He was.
When they went back to back,
it was lit. It was hype. was super hype.
It was
But
fire.
but
That shit was trash. That shit
I
was
found it
trash.
I found it sillier. I found it sillier that she jumped in the gunner of the Millennium Falcon and was just wiping dudes out like she was a pro. Like to me, that was
That was a little more
more
implausible.
like yeah.
No,
To
it
me, that
just
was
shows. It just shows like where did she even get this training from? Like she's never flown in the ship
I
prior
mean,
to any of this stuff.
you
No,
don't need
that was
training
no.
for
See,
the. I mean,
no,
to be
no, no,
fair,
no, no, no,
Luke did well in the Falcon too, and
no.
and
No, hold on,
Bullshit too.
no.
yeah, I
No,
ain't talking.
Hey man,
wait,
the Millennium Falcon is very user friendly. It's very
wait,
user
wait,
friendly.
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
apparently
wait.
it's like an
Mhm.
iPhone.
She can, wait, she can fly, bro. She can fly. Her shooting
Talking about
doesn't make sense, but
Wesley
she can
almost made me
fly.
spit. Wesley almost made me spit out my
Yeah,
soup. Yeah,
yeah. That's the thing she was doing though.
I
She
was
was
drinking my
shooting.
soup and Wesley said,
Yeah.
said it's an iPhone.
No, but
Yeah, she was shooting
her
dudes
being able to,
down.
yeah, her being able to fly with the Millennium Falcon makes sense.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but her
she was
being able to
definitely
shoot, yeah,
yeah.
no.
And she was sniping trained soldiers that were like
Yeah.
the first orders, like elite guards, like casually. She was like she did it
Trained
and laughed and was
soldiers, and she
yeah,
walked for miles,
miles.
on one leg. She walked for
Yeah,
miles.
she did it and laughed like it was a video game. It's like, yo, I
Trained
like
Right,
this.
yeah.
assassins.
I was like, what?
But that honestly,
Okay.
but you guys don't understand how much I loved Ray and Force Awakens, man. Like, I was like, bro, this has the potential to be like my
I'm
like
sure.
eclipse Anakin,
It
bro.
and the Finn
I'm
and
Anakin.
sure.
Phasma stuff. The Finn and Phasma stuff was a little underdeveloped.
It
Oh
was.
yeah,
It
Personally,
yeah.
was.
Um,
I didn't hate it, but it could have been developed better, I
a
guess.
little bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think
it
I think
was
they realized that
Mm.
Phasma to me was always a minor character.
Yeah,
I,
Phasma.
yeah, but
She
she
was
She was
was
literally
better.
just a stormtrooper in a different color. Like,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's
But
worse than both.
again, this is where I say, well, movie one established like she's one of the main adversaries for Finn. Like she's something that Finn has to overcome.
and he did.
He
And
did.
no, he did. See,
It could have had a much better emotional
Tom that
impact.
was a little bit still
Like,
underdeveloped.
yeah, if it was developed a lot more, it could have had a much bigger impact. It could have been way more
Yeah,
exciting.
all
yeah,
the
especially
build up to their confrontation was only specifically in the first film, and the blow off was in this one. So I guess I could see what you mean, Andre. But again, like Phasma, it's like what?
especially
Like
how
she huh? Go ahead.
died.
That
Especially how
was a
she
little.
died.
Here's the thing. Like I feel like people just kind of like they see her design where they immediately put in their head like, okay, Phasma's gonna be like this massive antagonist for the thing. But
Yeah,
I think
look at Boba
essentially,
Fett.
yeah, I was gonna say Boba Fett. Boba Fett
Yeah.
was half as developed as this character, and he's immortalized just because he's just a cool looking stormtrooper. Like people need to stop getting fooled by
I
these cool
mean,
looking
he's a bounty
stormtroopers.
hunter. He's a bounty hunter. He's not a
Yeah.
stormtrooper.
Yeah, but his outfit looks like a stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah,
But yeah, like
yeah. With
if you want to get real nerdy,
because
I love Boba Fett.
I mean, yeah, I
if you
love him
want to
too.
get real nerdy,
The thing is, I mean, I'm sure there's probably some like extended comic or book
There
that
are.
says
yeah.
no. Listen, there's probably some extended comic that says he stole a stormtrooper's outfit and he painted all that kind of army print on it and went ham.
no. He's a Mandalorian. There's a whole race of people just like him.
All right. So Star Wars nerd jizz aside, so the thing is like I was gonna say that like I was gonna, he's a man. What's the race of the Jamaican alien? I forgot his name.
The Jamaican Jar Jar?
Yeah, there you go.
Jar Jar
Yeah,
Binks?
what's his
What are they
race?
calling it? What are they calling it?
The Misa Yush.
No. You know what's funny though? So they asked Mark Hamill, are you and they named that race and he's like, what the hell is that? And they're like, that's the race of Jar Jar, and he starts dying for like a minute straight for no reason.
Do you remember the name? I forget what they called.
He was laughing and Mark Hamill was laughing and he was like, ha ha, Jar Jar was garbage. And all that good night.
He didn't say garbage.
He straight up said it was garbage. He doesn't. He's kind of like like a lot of old people. I notice like they just kind of like there's a lot of few things that they enjoy, but I love Mark. He's a great guy, great actor, great voice actor.
Hey man,
Listen, man, Mark.
He's like Gungan.
The gun.
I mean, yeah, there you go. I to be fair, he's been a voice actor for Joker for like 2 decades, and he said like half of the recent like Batman content he's dubbed over the last like a decade has been horrible. So. He's a complainer. But it's fine. Like I like him. I like him being honest. Huh? I like him being honest though. Like
being honest.
No,
I
no,
mean, he's critical.
you know, he's critical, but like, I'd rather him be honest, like an honest guy to himself, than be like a sugarcoater, like guy who's just like, no, everything I do is great. Like, he literally said, like, the material I've been handed recently has been awful, but being a Joker is just so fun, you know, I can't say no, and I'm like, so yeah, no, but
Yeah, I know I should have had my eyebrows raised when he said he fundamentally disagrees with everything Ryan Johnson did.
time out, but to be fair though,
I
if
mean,
you really look
Mark
at like
Hamill.
time out. People take those headlines a little out of context because like I was actually extensively researching like these interviews and stuff, and when you hear him talk, he's literally saying like when you know he says like these things that make sense. Like when I first got the script, like it took, I don't know what the word is, but like it took me back, like whoa, this is what's gonna happen. And it's like his initial reaction is like, I disagree, this is not Luke Skywalker and stuff. And he says that he said it took him a while to kind of really wrap his head around it and talk through Ryan Johnson's vision of what's gonna happen with the character and how it's gonna play out and stuff. So it's like, oh, okay. And
They
he literally went on to say though, he said I really he said I think it came out really nice though, and I like what he did, even though it's something that I would have never thought to do with that character, and the whole like disagreements and that kind of thing. So like people need to take that out of, like kind of like away.
Yeah,
And plus,
they
I
act
was just
they
joking.
act
plus,
I was just joking.
yeah,
they act
exactly. And plus
they
also.
acting they
Plus,
acting
also,
off like
Mark
that.
Hamill's what, like 60 years old and stuff, and Ryan Johnson's like 40 or whatever. So this guy's been playing this character for so long and stuff. Obviously, not everyone's gonna have the same vision for a specific character. So when someone comes to you and says this is what's gonna happen with it, and like sure, like if it's a radical, he even said, Mark Hamill said, like it was so radical, you know, it just shocked me and stuff. So I don't think it wasn't meant to be a negative comment. He literally ended up saying like he praised Ryan Johnson and praised like what happened with the character. Like he said, it took him a while to really wrap his head around what the direction was going to be and how he worked towards it. So that's such a weak thing to use. Plus, I don't really. Plus, like also using an actor's opinion on a thing isn't necessarily like that shouldn't factor in like an argument as to why a film is good or bad or not.
I didn't say
Because like.
that.
Oh yeah,
I
because
didn't.
like it shouldn't. Because I mean, like,
Actors
I
are
mean,
usually
it,
stupid. Like, why doesn't he
no,
write
no,
a
no, no,
script
no, no, no. That's not.
for
Well,
Jedi?
I mean, some actors
I
are
mean, those
dumb,
things are true. Yeah, a
but
lot of
I was gonna say like,
what the
I
fuck
mean,
did they know?
George Lucas liked this movie, and I don't care about George Lucas's
You were
opinion.
just
So
you were
like,
just shit you were just shitting on George Lucas.
did you not hear what I just said? You
You
know,
were just
that shows
George.
Andre, you just spoke right before you let me finish.
No,
I
no, I
just
didn't.
said,
But no, what I'm saying,
I don't care about George
you
Lucas's
just,
opinion. Like, I
but you,
don't care about George
but
Lucas's
but
view
you
on
used
anything. I, I don't
yeah,
care. I'm throwing that out there. Like none of this means anything. Like
yeah,
George Lucas loved the movie, but I
you
don't
used
care.
that,
Like I don't.
yeah, but you used that against me earlier.
No, I didn't. I was just tossing that out there, like just to show
Yeah,
like
no,
how meaningless all this
uh,
is. Like it's like,
get
oh,
the
this
fuck
guy
out of
said this
here.
about this movie, and this guy said that. I'm like, George Lucas loved the movie, and those things. George Lucas is a genius, and that he should have handled this new trilogy. Who
He
cares?
is a
Like I don't.
genius and should have handled it, but
What again?
No,
So that's what I'm saying. Like stop.
no, see,
If we're gonna argue about the
no,
movie, argue about the
that's not what
movies.
you said.
I don't want to get into the semantics of what actor said about this, about that, or that. The finished product is a
That's not
finished
what you said.
product, and ultimately, like
That's
that's what
not
really
what you said.
matters. Yeah, yes,
That's not what
I
that.
literally said I'm just throwing it out there. George Lucas liked this
That's not
movie,
no.
like in response.
Why?
Okay, Andre, I'm not gonna argue back and forth about this,
Why?
man. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about George
Why?
Lucas's
Why?
opinion.
Why?
I don't care about George Lucas's
Why'd you bring
opinion.
it up?
Huh?
You brought it
I
up
told you why I brought it up.
because you do care.
Okay, Andre.
If you
If
actually didn't
that
care, you wouldn't have brought
if that's what
it
you,
up.
Andre.
but
Oh, what did I say?
I care about George Lucas's opinion. But
I know
I
you do.
know in this case, I know he's not going to say the movie's bad, even though he
No,
did throw
because
some shots at.
he wasn't a huge fan of Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
it was
Even though
just
he
a
did throw
remake
some
of.
shots at Force Awakens, he's not gonna say that. He's not gonna trash it
No,
because he's still making money. He's still making money off it.
he literally said like he wasn't really into Force Awakens.
Yeah.
They be paying these people to say that stuff, man.
Say what, that he didn't like the movie?
Not George, because George profited. Like he's
Yeah,
gonna promote.
no. George Lucas literally said that he didn't like Episode 7. So like he doesn't care. Like the guy created Star Wars. He can say
Nah,
whatever
but
the hell he
George is
wants.
kind of salty because they threw away his script. Like, he was just
Probably.
salty.
That's how I said that
He
when
would
I
have.
first saw
He would have
the
had.
I was like, yeah, I do tight, man. I do
He
tight.
would
Yeah,
have
yeah, man.
he would have
He
handled
was
these
nice.
characters. He would have handled Luke and Layla in a way better than
I,
what they did.
I,
Finn and
hell,
Ray though. Finn and Ray
I,
yeah,
is
you
I don't
see,
think any
I
of
didn't.
these.
Well, see, I didn't.
I don't.
I know. I'm not disagreeing. I think he
So
would have
look,
handled
I don't really
Wesley,
care. I don't really care to discuss
Wesley, Wesley,
hypothetical George Lucas
Wesley.
writing scenarios.
Wesley, I did not say right.
Yeah,
I did not say right.
yeah, yeah.
I'll throw
Yeah,
Ray.
I
I'll throw
agree. He
Ray.
would have handled the original character
I'll
better.
throw Ray in there. I think Ray got a lot worse in this movie.
I don't think she got a lot
I
of
think
worse.
George would
No,
have done. I think
no,
George
no,
could have
no,
done
no, no,
better.
no. I don't think she got a lot worse. I just think like compared to some of the other new characters that got like a lot of development, I feel like if this is like a Pokemon team or whatever, and your team went from like a team full of like a bunch of level 25s, and all of them are now like level 46. She's at like 32, and it's like she's her increase of like how good she is was incremental in comparison to some of the other characters. So
Wesley, she's starting to fall into that category of the blank face, strong female character.
Yeah, I mean, starting to.
That,
She is that. You know, I think Ray, like yeah, I think Ray's right now the weakest Star Wars protagonist.
which is so disappointing.
um.
Yeah.
Mm, I still prefer her over episode 2 Anakin. So
You
What?
just that's just
What?
ridiculous. Episode two, Anakin he has way more better station than her
he's better
versus this
what?
one.
I think it's a characterization. Right now.
Are you
Um
kidding
the cat I mean like there's interesting things regarding like there's interesting
I gotta hear this one.
there's in, there's there's
I
I
gotta
guess
hear this
you
one.
can argue that there's more interesting things going for that character at the moment where you could say like oh you know his visions of his mom dying and like his inner torment and that whole thing and his potential and all the kind of powers that be basically trying to hold him down because they see that like he has the potential to like because of his potential they kind of fear his power. That's interesting, right? But
Let's
at the end of the
go.
day,
Yeah.
no, yeah, that's the idea that Lucas had, and it's one of those things like the council. It's like come on, let's be honest here. Like if it was like really fair and unbiased, this man would have been a knight a long time ago. But it's like we're holding him down because like they just don't trust him. They don't trust what that power is. They don't even know what they're gonna do to control it. So it's just like they fear what he's gonna become. That's interesting and all, and it's a cool path into the eventual transition of Vader, but again though, that's just a concept and ultimately a muddled mess of a film where this character throughout most of the film is just literally a crybaby. So he's a he's a poorly acted crybaby with wooden acting scenes with a woman that she doesn't have he doesn't
His
have any
mother
that he
His
doesn't
mother
let me
dies,
finish my let me finish my sentence
but you say he was a crybaby.
you're
can I
calling him a
finish my
crybaby like this is a
sentence
bad
Evil,
thing.
evil, not you. You can't expect us
Edo,
to
can
be
I finish a
quiet
statement?
when
Let me finish
bro,
this.
when you say
Let me
something.
finish a statement. Let me finish a statement. Man, I just
This
said
statement sounds like bullshit.
I just said I mean I own all the films on DVD, so you know. But
Okay,
listen
who's a
listen.
nerd now?
Ultimately, that doesn't make me a nerd. That just means that that just means that I was given DVDs like of a film. I'm not out here reading wikis every day and
Like, who's
studying
a
on
nerd now?
the extended
Like,
Hey
books
man,
and stuff.
there's
What's
nothing
wrong
wrong
with
with that,
reading
man.
the
There's
wiki?
nothing wrong.
Yeah, I own DVDs of movies, but
okay, okay.
but I said like these ideas and concepts are just that they're ideas and concepts, and they're interesting enough. Just like anytime they
They're
touch on
executed
them,
well.
can I
Yeah.
finish my statement? They
All right,
No,
no
you're
please
just
wrap
saying
up.
dumb shit.
no. Listen, if you're salty about
No,
No,
evil,
about like my view,
you gotta make
uh,
this statement quicker, bro, because we be on
okay,
your
Yeah,
all
yeah,
ass,
right,
just
man.
please.
Like
all right. Well,
we be waiting.
I said
Brevity, brevity.
all right. Well, I said yes. At the end of the day, these ideas and concepts are interesting, but that's all they really are in episode 2. They're just ideas and concepts, and when they're touched upon, it's interesting. But at the end of the day, throughout most of the film, the character is just one character in a muddled mess of a film where he's literally just a whiny, poorly acted crybaby involved in many wooden acting scenes with a woman that he doesn't have chemistry with. And before his mother's death, his whininess really is just bratty. Like when he's just whining to Obi-Wan, like, but I wanted to do this and I wanted to go in there and I wanted to do this and that. And it's like it's not like no, this is a guy who's tormented or this is a guy who's sunk into this. He's just a crybaby teenager. And it's like and Anakin Skywalker when we're not looking at like what he like the potential of what he's going to become or how people react to him, he's not that entertaining. And so when I said that Ray is I prefer Ray over
Yeah,
Episode 2 Anakin, that's kind of why I said that. So
that's
there you go.
understandable.
Yeah,
It's
like it's not
understandable
like
for her. But I'm saying that in the first movie, the thing is like she was a blank slate and a mystery that was set up, and
I
then
liked her
by
better
the
in Force Awakens.
I did too, and that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
They
She
both
was,
yeah.
suck both movies.
but she was both all right. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to explain that afterwards. But in the second movie, she's still kind of a mystery, and even more like kind of relegated to just like reacting to the characters around her more than like
Mm-mm.
developing her own sort of like characteristics or certain
Mm-hmm.
personality. Like she's really just reacting to Luke and reacting to Kylo in this movie, and it's kind of like it kind of like mitigated what her personality. And in this movie, it really felt like Kylo Ren just stepped up and became the
Yes,
protagonist of the trilogy.
He's the
my
better actor.
So
body,
it,
my
I mean,
body
obviously
hurts,
it's Adam
man.
Driver.
I'm gonna freaking punch a hole in my wall.
Kylo Ren really felt like the protagonist after this movie.
Does he have like a facial like tick or something?
In
Like,
real life, no.
Yeah.
I mean, he just does that a lot. 'Cause he plays a lot of weird
You
characters.
know, trip me out. I looked up an interview of him, and like this dude sounds like he's from like Israel or something like that. And then I looked up and like he grew up in like Indiana. I'm like, where does this guy get this accent from? It's weird.
Nah, he just. I mean, Indiana's a weird place in general.
It,
Like
it
I've been
is.
to
Like,
Indiana.
he
Yeah, I was,
he does know he does seem like a Midwest kind of guy.
no, no, he
yeah.
In real life,
nah.
oh my
I
goodness.
thought I was gonna look it up and he's gonna say like he's from like Istanbul, Turkey or something. Like
No, he does
like
seem
His
like a
face looks like
Midwestern.
that.
yeah, no, he
Yeah,
looks like a beaten
Because he's
boxer or
like
something
so
like
like he's
yeah.
like so mild mannered. He's like ridiculously nice.
in the interview, like there's
He
like
is.
he's like
I can see it.
I went to
It
acting
makes sense.
school and then after I went to acting school I enlisted
Nice.
in the army for a little bit and then after I went to the army for a bit I tried the acting thing again and I got lucky with girls on HBO and after I did that
Yeah,
He's
show
like
and
six
like
four. He's like 6'4", isn't he?
tall as hell.
yeah. He's pretty tall, I think.
6'2".
So yeah, Adam Driver is great, man.
He is. He's a great man. He was great in Girls. He
But
made that show.
why do these Wesley help me
Yes.
bro.
What? The female character thing? Like, what do you mean?
Yes. Why does this happen?
Hey man, Wonder Woman was lit.
Like
You got one.
how are people getting away? How are people getting away? No, literally. Okay, I can, and I told you guys in the chat, I can forgive everything else, bro. Listen, I'm a guy who defends the prequels. I defend the prequel. I can forgive a lot, man. I can forgive a lot. But
Yeah.
when you're just lazy, come on.
I mean, people are satisfied with just a girl being strong,
Why
like
is
just
that?
physically strong. So
Like
like,
how
it's
are they?
just
Do you,
that's enough for
Kathleen
me.
Why is
Kennedy
that
is running.
passable?
To be fair though,
Kathleen Kennedy is
I
running
mean, there
the
were
first
like,
film.
to be fair though, it's not like she's just completely vapid in the film. It's just that she's not the most interesting
no.
character in the film.
I
So
mean, yeah, but I mean, she's more
She's
reactionary in the second film.
yeah.
Like,
They could have
yeah,
made
sure,
her more
sure,
interesting though.
sure,
yeah.
but if you look
She
at it
wasn't
more
trash.
at
No.
yeah, and if you look at it, if you I think if you look at it more of a bigger picture thing, considering that she kind of got the most focus in the first film, and this one kind of catches everybody else up, you could then say that if they balance it out with just a lot of Rey in the last film, which makes sense because it's the last film and she's a protagonist, I think it works out. So it's almost like the
I
middle
mean,
installment kind of catches up everybody around
I
her,
mean, I
which
mean, the
is
thing is, like I said with the One Piece thing. Like, the thing is, stuff is happening to her, dramatic stuff. We're getting all these plot twist reveals, and we really don't see her character come out through her reaction to things. She's just like, "What does that mean? Really? Oh, so what happened? That happened? Okay. Oh my.
the only
Are
time
you
where
a Jedi? What darkness? Like that? Those are kind of her, her dialogue lines throughout the whole
the
time.
only time it was like coming out a little bit was when she was trying to like kind of fight Luke a little bit, like after
Yeah.
based off the new information she learned from Kylo.
She doesn't really have a lot
She
of
was
strong reactions to things. Like it's just kind of like what, or like distinctive reactions at all. And the closest thing she has is probably with the Kylo Ren stuff, when she chooses to be on. But even that, she just kind of like wishy-washy, like half of a character, and just kind of
body.
like why did she make the decision to stay with the rebels? Like, I don't know. Like why is she?
Yeah,
Why
I don't
doesn't
know.
she?
I don't know. We need to
Yeah.
listen. We need
The
to start
only her
investing.
personality, a lot of her personality is just like in reaction to like Luke, and then in reaction to Kylo.
We need to
Like
start
what, like who
investing
she?
these writers.
Yeah. So
Invest
I mean, all the other female characters are good though.
Listen.
for
She needs the
purging.
character. Listen, she needs the character with the BBC around her again for her to
Listen,
She
like,
does.
man.
for her to shine again.
She
You know,
does.
she
Maybe.
When
needs.
I when I
She need,
when I seen the Layla Superman scene, I was like, yeah, this is going to get bad.
Yeah.
That was stupid as
to,
shit.
to be fair though, Finn's character got like relegated to reactionary a lot
Yeah,
too.
but
Like he was just kind of reacting to Rose a lot more.
he did better in that. He did much better in that role.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
you
he
wait? But hold on,
He
I have a question.
he took the ball in that role and ran with it. So
Hold on, but
yeah,
I
he
have a
was
question
already the
about this.
sidekick, but he kind
I have, I have a
of
question
improved
about
a little
this.
bit.
So like when DJ was showing Finn that like it's more the the resistance is more gray than you think because the rich people are getting rich off of selling weapons to the First Order and the Resistance. Why would Finn then try and sacrifice himself for the Resistance, even though he started to know that they might be just as grimy?
And
no,
that's
well,
what
Uh,
makes Kylo Ren. That's what makes Kylo Ren's point even better.
Yeah,
yeah.
it does.
Like he
Why
wasn't
would he
bugging out. Like
sacrifice himself?
Huh?
I think it was more. I think it was more because the resistance was helping those like poor children that were being
yeah, like
kind of like at the bottom of society, like
he was yeah.
the lesser.
yeah, I think it's
He was committed to the
reason
idea
why they're doing it.
of the good that the resistance was doing. So
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, he
See, but
saw a
here's
lot
I
more of
just
those
and I
being
get that.
tortured
I
and
get
stuff.
that. But man, I just wish like they try to bring up these really good points, and then
They didn't
sometimes
dive
it just
into
doesn't
it.
land. It
Yeah,
just doesn't land on the characters like I want it to. You know,
yeah.
what I mean? I want it to really hit them.
I'm,
I want
I'm,
them to
I'm,
really think about it.
Yeah, you didn't really see their reaction strongly to it. It's just kind of like you have to assume that, like you have to kind of
Yeah,
parse that from what happened.
like
He,
don't just
yeah,
like dip your toe into this plot point that you're introducing, and then take it back out. Like go in. People say this
well,
movie's risky. Go in,
What
Doc.
risk?
Go.
What risk?
I,
There's
I, I,
the only risk that movie took was to how to piss off the fans.
no, I mean taking Ray away from Finn, and this chubby Asian girl is his new love interest, and Poe's not
They weren't even that
cool.
good of a couple.
Yo,
Poe's
that kiss.
The
I
kiss was
I'm not the type
trash.
of,
Get the
and you know
fuck out of here.
I like
well,
romance in
well,
movies.
well,
I personally like.
it
I
wasn't
I
don't,
get
meant to be like a mutual embrace.
yeah, it wasn't a mutual, it wasn't supposed to be like this
It caught him
mutual
off
yeah
engagement
guard.
of
Like
thing.
he was like,
yeah.
Yeah, she
I
he
kissed
was an
didn't
him
awkward
and then
person.
he
Yeah,
keeled
she was kind
over.
of a
Yeah.
nerd. She was kind of a
I
nerd.
didn't
And then,
Yeah,
they
like
had a interaction
it would have been weird if they were
beforehand.
like passionately making out or something. Like
Yeah,
no I
he
didn't
she
know I
kissed the
didn't want
dude and
that.
keeled over.
I didn't think it would happen. It should have happened, but that's just a little nitpick. It's not that big
Oh,
of a
you
deal.
didn't think the kiss at all?
Yeah, I don't think they had to kiss.
I mean, and
I
also
got your point.
she couldn't resist the cock, man. You know, just I
Hey,
mean,
Yeah,
I
I
get it.
mean,
the man is
Yeah,
cool. The
it
man is
was,
cool.
and
it was.
part of me just
The guy
wants Finn
got
and
that
Ray to be together.
Nigerian accent.
You just want
Yeah,
Finn and
man.
Ray. What? The
Yeah,
Nigerian accent.
To be fair,
Yeah,
but
though,
no, I
besides,
do too.
I think Finn Ray still is very possible.
hey,
Yeah,
you guys saw
yeah.
how Ray was choosing when he was putting that cover over Rose and Ray was looking.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
missed
She
it.
she gave she
Yeah,
gave she gave the stink eye. Like what?
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
she's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm still saving this box for you. Like, come on,
Yeah, and he
let's
also
relax.
that passionate hug too when he ran out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was
hey,
cute. It
Yeah,
was cute when she was talking to Chewbacca, and she was like, "Oh, she was like, see if you get in contact with the Resistance." And she's like, "Oh, ask what's up with Finn." She was like, "Ask it."
yeah.
She was like, "See if you can see what's going on with Finn." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of
hey,
sweet."
man,
Oh,
my man Finn.
he's got this
But I don't
love
know.
triangle brewing.
She's got Poe Dameron around her now.
Nah, man,
It
he
might be over. It
proactive.
might be over.
Gambit's lurking around. Yeah, that's the competition right
Yeah.
there. Gambit's kind of in the cut. Yeah, like watch out.
The girl, the female Star Wars fans really like Poe. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen.
Yo, it was funny. Chris Tuckman just kind of he came to terms and acknowledged like, they're probably gonna do some love triangle thing in the third movie, and it was funny the way he said let's just hope it's not too revolting and too time consuming in the third film. And I was dying.
Oh my God, Chris
He,
Tucker.
could,
Like,
could you
no,
could you
no, but the thing is, it's like a hexagon. They implied like since Ray and Kylo are related. Like I thought
oh
they were gonna be for a long time.
yeah.
This movie, Kylo thing. There's a
Bro,
Ray and
what
Poe
if
thing.
Ray
There's
would have
a Ray.
grabbed? What if Ray would have grabbed Kylo's hand, bro, when he reached out? What if she was like,
It would have
yeah,
been lit. It would. She should have.
yeah,
He was dropping
That
frames.
would have
bro,
that would
bro,
have
we
that
would
would have
have never
just
seen
Too
her
I would
again.
have just if that happened, I'd be like, yo, what is
similar to the
happening?
original.
What is
It might have been
that?
too similar to the original, but I would
Yeah,
have liked.
yeah.
Yeah, I think she should have considered it
Too
more.
similar to
I don't
the
get why she.
original?
Yeah,
What do you mean too
with
similar?
Luke, when he didn't he align himself with
Yeah.
Darth Vader in the original?
No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no.
No.
In Revenge, sorry, Return of the Jedi,
Yeah, he was.
the man was mutually cordial with Darth Vader and hanging out with him the whole movie.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
So they
you
weren't
know,
cordial, bro. They were playing mind games on each other. Luke was trying
I
to
mean, I
get
mean,
him
I
to
mean,
turn, and Darth Vader.
yeah. I mean, it could have been something similar.
you can argue psionic mind games were being played the whole time, but
Yeah,
that's actually my favorite part of the whole movie. Just Luke and Darth Vader just chilling in a
yeah,
ship the
bro.
whole movie.
Yeah,
But
they were
yeah,
chilling.
yeah, 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 yeah. There was so much tension and clout. He's just walking out with his black turtleneck and his green lightsaber, and he's just like, I know you are Vader, and all of a sudden Vader's just like calmly talking to him, like they're literally just chilling and talking the whole movie. And like at any point, like they can just cut each other's heads off. It was so goat. But no, I
Yeah,
mean,
so it could have been something like
yeah, like
that.
no,
Like,
yeah, like
it could have been similar. It could have been
Luke did
similar.
align. Luke did kind of just like go over there.
Yeah,
Nah,
so I'm
bro.
saying
Luke
people.
was trying to change Vader. Vader was trying to get Luke to join him so they can kill Palpatine
Well,
together.
yeah, but I'm
No,
saying
no, that's the conclusion.
ostensibly.
That's the conclusion that came to. But like, but that's the conclusion that came to. But
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day, they were kind of feeling each other out to see what was going to go on. So.
yeah. I'm just saying on the surface they were like on the same side. They were like there
Hmm.
was an allegiance. There was an allegiance in the movie
Hmm.
that it might have seemed similar if they did the same thing. Just like if they were related, like in some way, like it might have seemed too similar to the Leia and Luke thing. So I can see why they didn't do it, but I think it would have made more sense in that moment. Like all she's seeing is corruption.
Hmm.
Kylo, like Kylo just killed the main person she saw
Yeah,
as the villain. The person who was attacking. He
yeah.
saved her. He
But
rescued
could
her.
you
Yeah,
imagine
hey,
the
man,
visual?
hey, man. That's
Look,
also the ultimate way to flex on a girl, man. Kylo
could
just.
you
Yeah,
could you
he
not?
could have. He could have left. He didn't need to save her. He could have left
Yeah,
her
man.
be killed.
Could
But he
y'all
Listen.
saved
imagine?
her.
Could y'all
After
imagine the
killing Snoke,
visual of
like
them
he
staring
had a
out?
good claim to get his cock sucked right there. Like you better
Yeah. So,
Can y'all imagine the visual of them like staring
Adam
out?
Driver was he was wagging it. Like he was shaking his leg all around
Yeah,
this movie, bro. Like that dude just had clout this
dude's
entire
like,
There was
suck
even
my Jew cock. Like, what happened?
film.
Could y'all
you,
imagine
you didn't you didn't like
them
you didn't
staring
like
out into
Kylo in the movie?
space?
Kinda?
No, I think no, he
Oh my
pointed out that he was
goodness.
Yeah.
shirtless in the scene.
Oh yeah, he did buff up for the movie.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, I
I
noticed
was like,
that.
damn, he's brawling now too. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, they see, like just like I said, like there was that moment when they were like in that psionic link. They were like the Magneto
Hmm.
Xavier thing,
Hmm.
and then Kylo all of a sudden had his shirt off for no reason. She was like, "Can you put your shirt on and stuff like that?" So they had that like flirtatious moment too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no.
So yeah, they were setting that up. So
Oh god.
it's a little
Yo,
Ray hair going right now.
No,
So who
you're right.
knows? They could go. They could go. They could go in a lot of
That sounds
directions.
familiar, Wesley. But anyway,
So yeah,
a
they could go in a
lot
lot
of
of directions.
options for Ray.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think they're gonna let John Boyega put his
Coon lips in.
his darker coon lips all over Ray.
No,
Because
no, no,
no way.
I
the
disagree.
deer,
I think 100% is gonna happen, and it's because Disney's
Hell no.
progressive
they
and
wouldn't.
Finn.
Hell no.
He's
First movie,
gonna
they
do.
wouldn't even
They
let their
won't go that
lips
far. They
touch.
won't
They
go
didn't
that
let
far.
their lips touch in the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh, but he could kiss all over the chubby Asian bro. Like they just
Yeah, bro. That's how I
cringe,
knew.
bro.
That's how I knew. That's how I knew. When
That's
Mantis
what
was saying,
solidified it for me.
yeah,
Would it feel tainted if he kisses her at the end of the movie, but it's not before Poe kisses her first, like at some point earlier
Yes.
or in the middle of the movie? Would that be
Yes.
tainted?
No. It would only taint it if she ended up with Poe. If Poe kissed her first, but then she went with Finn at the end, it's all good, baby. It's all good.
Like, hey,
there's no way.
hey,
I know
There's
you.
no way they have enough time. They don't have enough time to set that up.
Yes, they
that's
do.
hey man, yeah, yes they do, but that's like Jean
Oh,
Grey, man.
it's
It's
Poe,
Poe
bro.
movie.
Listen, Jean Grey, Jean Grey thought it around a little bit in the middle of the relationship,
Yeah.
but she ultimately ended right back up with Cyclops at the
It's
end.
Poe. He's
It's
a very
one. It's
gung
one
ho.
movie.
Leia kissed Luke and Han
Han
Solo.
Solo,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
She only kissed Luke just to piss Han off.
yeah. In the end, but we didn't know that at the
That Luke.
time.
That
Yeah. So like, But look,
I guess.
what I'm
I mean,
saying
it
is Poe
depends on how
Dameron.
it's.
Yeah, Poe Dameron. She could be hanging out with him in the movie. He's a very hungry, brash, cool man. He could just grab her and kiss her randomly in a moment. In the middle
Exactly.
of a battle and shit. Like it can happen.
Do you see how smoothly the man just introduced himself?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he's like,
He almost kissed the
I'm,
commander. He was checking
yeah,
her out
he's
at the
like,
beginning of the movie. He's like,
yeah.
yo,
Yeah,
she kind of lit.
I'm Captain Poe. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm Commander Poe Dameron. I don't think we ever met. And he's
He's
like
he's like, that's not, yeah.
leaning over to the side, like with his, like, man,
Yeah, he was trying to,
the
trying to
man,
play some fight.
the
He was
man,
like,
the man, he literally like could casually just slag her, like if he
yeah.
really wanted to, like just.
If Carrie Fisher still had good hips, let it take attitude.
Yeah, a man clapping Carrie Fisher, yeah. at current Carrie, so that's why. He would do it just for the cloud, just be like, yeah, I did that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't buy Carrie.
So I mean,
I already did it.
yeah. I think he set it up. So I mean,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So I don't know. Because what's going to be the conclusion for that? The only reason that Rose Girl is really introduced is to help Finn learn, care
Develop,
more
yeah.
about the Resistance and
Bro, who's running?
set
For
up
the
a
cops?
possible.
That's why I wish she actually died because it's like your job is done. Like you heard?
Yeah. Her
Yeah,
job is
I said
done. No, her job
no,
is not done. Her job is just
for who Rose?
to create that love triangle.
Oh my god!
She made him develop,
Go
but that's
away,
her real
bro.
role.
Go away.
To get in between Ray and Finn.
Oh my god, man.
Ugh.
When
Ray just walked
when
away.
Ray just walk.
She was like, "Who is this Asian girl, Finn?" And he was
Yeah.
like,
He's like,
I don't know.
I don't even know her.
What if the ninth movie really turned into like a romantic comedy or something?
It is a little bit.
Really dramatic.
Hey, listen.
Dramatic.
It does. Listen, a lot of the villains were eliminated in this film, so that there's more space in the next film for internal strife and romantic tension.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
telling.
Have you been on Tumblr and typed in Star Wars? Like there's a
Yes.
huge number of people who really care.
Just want to see
all
the
they care
ships.
about the ship.
Is the ships. It's ridiculous. I hate
All they give
people.
a shit is about shipping Kylo with Ray.
Yes.
I think Kylo and Finn, Kylo and Ray,
Which
like
this
Poe and
movie
Finn.
was strictly
Kylo and Finn.
all damn.
Guys. Poe and Finn was shipped out of the first one. People are like, oh my god, they're bromance. Oh my god.
What bromance? They barely talked.
They hugged in the majority of their scenes. What are you talking about? They hugged and fist bumped and like, they're bros.
They hugged in this movie too. Yeah, they like each other. They're just separate from this movie.
Yeah, man, they're bros, man.
Yeah, so like I said, man, that Finn and Ray is a pipe dream.
He says a pipe dream. Wesley, will you call this the best Star Wars trilogy if you know for sure coming out without even knowing how the third one's gonna play out? We have the first two already out, right? And
yes,
would it be the greatest Star Wars trilogy if you just know that it ends with Finn and Ray confirmed?
If it's fully confirmed,
Wesley, I'm talking epilogue scene with interracial babies, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Hell yeah. That's like how Obama's automatically the best president. Black, yeah. It's automatically the best.
Wesley's in theater. Wesley's in theater is like.
There's never been an interracial baby in Star Wars.
Yeah. Exactly. So, Lando Calrissian. You think he was gonna smash Leia? Like they couldn't even hint. Lando Calrissian.
The most we got out of that was him saying something smooth and her just kind of maybe just being like, and him just looking at her a certain way. Like, that's all we.
Yeah.
Han Solo actually married a black girl. After a little bit after Jedi. No, not after
really.
Jedi. After
Wait, do you mean the actor or in
between A New Hope and Empire?
Wait. In the canon of the story, or like Harrison Ford banged the black chick?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in the canon of the story.
Oh man, you in these extended universe books and
see that in the movie.
He did marry a
black right?
They ultimately got divorced, but
George
Oh,
Lucas must not have had control over that at all.
yeah,
Nah,
right.
he didn't.
Honestly, I don't see him writing stuff.
George like
It's like,
George like. So it seems in the extended universe comics,
But
they gave
they won't let George touch anything.
Luke, George
Yeah,
Lucas is like
listen,
Jar Jar's a funny character. I'm sure
They,
the
they won't let
blacks
this
will
man.
love
They won't
him.
let this man write
yeah,
a
I
script.
think the blacks will love him.
The blacks are love his He's the Asian alien. Pretty funny, right? His
Yeah,
accent.
yeah, yeah. Yo, listen, man.
They won't let this man write a freaking biography.
Yo, yo,
This is the Jew planet. Look at these Jews over here. Like these aliens, they
yo,
love
yo,
money on
listen,
this planet. It's like, yeah,
listen,
no. Like,
literally, George at this point, he's like the drunk uncle that like they bring him
yeah,
around and it's like, nah, don't let him do this, don't let him do
yeah.
that, yeah, yeah.
It's like he was a football star, like when he was a kid, but now he's just crazy. So like he can't do anything anymore. Like he built the
They
house that
treat
he
him like
live in.
they treat him like he's like the retarded grandpa. Where it's just like, no, he's a little slow now. Just be really like, just hi,
It's like be
how are you?
respectful. He built the house. He built the house we live in, but he can't tie his own pants anymore. So just like try and be like that.
But he be looking so
Like he doesn't
depressed
know.
at the premieres, bro.
Yo,
He be looking so.
you know him seeing Puppet Yoda killed him. Yo.
Yeah,
You know him seeing
I bet
non-CG
he
Yoda
wishes he
like
was in
wait a
charge.
minute.
He wishes he
Yeah,
was in charge, but I wouldn't do it that way.
he probably was like,
yeah.
you don't want to
I bet he
alternate,
lost. I
yo.
bet he tore out his hair. I bet it shaved like 10 years off his life. But he was like, who are the main characters of the new Star Wars? He saw like it was a
A
girl and
black,
an African dude. He was like, what?
No,
African dude and a woman.
He's
no,
like,
George, George,
what sort of galaxy
George,
is this?
What kind of galaxy
George
is
should be
this?
pissed. George should be pissed off right now because everybody is making excuses that this movie took chances.
He
But the,
likes his movie. That's the funny thing. So
but no, he's no,
He's like
not
bad
at the
though.
movie. He should be pissed off at the review, the critics. Because
oh
people keep
yeah.
saying
Because they
this
like
movie
it.
took chances, and the amount of chances he took in the prequels, he got
Oh.
zero
Yeah.
grades.
But it's
He
the
didn't
execution
execute
of
it
those.
well
It's
though.
execute. Yeah. George, but here's what I wanted to say. Like, could you imagine?
That's subjective.
Could you imagine him seeing like the cast force racing? He doesn't know what roles or which people, but he looks at the cast and he goes, this young man right here is looking at like the actor for Poe Dameron. He's like, so I'm assuming you're an understudy Jedi or something. No, I'm just a resistance. I'm a resistance fighter. He's like, all right, so this nigger here, are you like are you in a Wookiee costume or is it?
Stormtrooper or Ewok?
He's like, you're gonna voice act the Ewok, huh? It's like, no,
He hired a black
I'm one
dude.
of the lead. Yeah.
He hired a black dude to be Jar Jar.
Oh
Yeah,
my
of
god.
course he did.
Of course he did. Do you know the only reason why Samuel Jackson was in Star Wars in the prequels? Because he said, "I've always wanted to be in Star Wars. Put me in Star Wars." And he's like, "Okay." Like he literally told Lucas, "Create a character. I'm gonna be in Star Wars." And he's like,
Yeah,
"All right."
he wanted a purple saber because he wanted to
Yeah.
stand out.
Yeah.
He literally, yo, do you know how much clout Samuel Jackson has? He's like, "I love Star Wars, nigga. Put me in Star Wars, nigga." And he's just like, "Okay." He just made Mace Windu. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Afro Samurai happened. Like, Samuel Jackson just likes anime and he saw the character
And they
design
told
and he
him
was like,
make an anime. On
yeah, he was like, make an anime of it. I'm going to play it. He like
it.
goes to Japan. And like,
Yo,
oh, guy.
very few men have that type of clout. Where it's just like, men just like waking up a day, just like, oh, they make a new Star Wars.
There was some
George,
character he
you
saw
better put
in
my ass
in
in
a
that
comic.
movie. Like,
Yeah, there was some character he saw in the comic, and I forgot who he played. He just saw it, and he was like, "This character clearly looked like him." So instead of suing the guy, he just contacted him and said he was going to play him in like the movie version. And
yo,
they just made the movie like he just
that's
jumped
some
up.
Samuel Jackson status stuff, man. Oh man, George Luke. I was gonna say,
Kevin, did you see the movie?
How you doing, Pando?
Did you ignore me on purpose?
I think he's bad.
He's mad at everybody.
Shut the fuck up, Irima. Fuck you too, Wes.
Wait, Kevin, what did I do, Kevin?
Kevin, did you see the movie?
Justin, don't speak to me.
Kevin, how is God loves man?
Hold on.
How is God loves man kills, bro?
Hold
I'm
on.
not reading that shit.
Can you guys take screen time?
Time out, yo. Why is Kevin mad at me? What did I do? I'm just here chilling.
I just came to see if y'all were done. I can tell y'all not done. I'm gonna go watch a movie
What
or some
happened?
shit.
We'll let you know when we're done, Kevin.
don't want to
Hey,
know
bro,
what you're doing.
send in the screenshots.
Adosa,
Say
stop
my
speaking to
name.
me. You're annoying me right now.
Yeah,
Stop doing that.
Kevin.
What?
To be fair, Adosa said,
No,
"Wait,
listen,
let's
listen,
wait for
listen, listen,
Kevin."
listen,
He said,
listen,
"Let's wait
listen.
for
Hey,
Kevin." He said, "Let's wait for
listen,
Kevin."
Thank you,
listen,
thank
listen,
you.
listen, listen, listen.
I didn't wait for Kevin.
I'm not angry at anybody. I'm just disappointed. That's all I really gotta say.
Hey,
I want.
I'll rewatch the movie during this
No,
week. We
I
can do a
don't.
follow
I
up
don't
review
want
with
to. I
Kevin.
don't want to do a follow review. I'm tomorrow when I watch the movie. I'll get back here probably like at 3 or something. I'll say, oh, I'll just get my small thoughts on the movie and just move on with my life. That's it.
Yo, Kevin sounds so sad. Yeah, he sounds so like
Yeah,
lonely. Yeah, so I'll just give my thoughts to that.
yeah, he just left.
Yo,
See, Wesley,
Oh
I
my
told
god.
you.
Kevin just came in and tried to drop like a pound of guilt on Wesley and dip. Yo.
It also said don't wait for him.
You know,
Kevin's whack.
Kevin's whack.
Kevin's whack. Don't wait for
I
him.
said, wait for Kevin. And then
Hey,
Wesley was like, nah, he's not
hey,
showing respect.
Wesley, you can call this part one. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
He said,
what?
what's Kevin gonna add? Trash opinion?
What's Kevin gonna add? Hey,
uh,
I think the movie, I think the next movie's gonna start out with
we're talking about Wesley. Are we still
with
alive?
Leia's funeral.
We
Yes.
are.
We're still alive. Yeah, damn, how long? We've been streaming for like 3 hours or something, right?
Nah, it's been like an hour.
I think the next
It feels like it's been like a long time.
How
It's
much
been about an hour.
time should
Right
pass
now.
through this movie?
I think the next movie's gonna start out with
How
Leia's
much
funeral.
time should pass?
Yeah.
Nah, that's weird. That's weird.
I
She's
mean,
dead.
It should.
they
They need
should
to get rid of it.
they should have killed her off in that scene.
Time out. I forgot where I read it, but I think it's confirmed
She's
that
dead.
there's.
She's dead.
Time out,
He was like,
Edos, I heard that it's confirmed that there's still like 2 or 3 scenes that they didn't use that are filmed of Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, and they could use a
That they have
stand-in,
on there.
not show her face. Do some CG a little bit. Do some faraway shots in CG. I mean,
Hey,
I think
she
they
can't be in a
because
ton of
no
scenes.
because we still haven't got a
She can't be
Han
in a ton of
funeral.
scenes.
We still haven't got a Han funeral, and I like that would be so. It would be so emotional to like
How
see
they
them
gonna
both
bury
like being
her?
placed together.
You know, I feel a
Well,
little
no,
gratuitous though. If she actually died, to like try her out like that, it would be a little bit. I don't know how they're gonna get rid of her. Do they have to?
Yeah.
This movie
Unless
was
they
a
just
perfect chance.
recast.
Well,
Unless they just recast.
Yeah.
The
No,
saddest thing,
I think they only did
the
it.
saddest thing is that Mark Hamill said he said what makes it really depressing is that there was so much really great stuff planned for her in the ninth movie. That's what he said. He's like there's so much like really great stuff planned for her.
The thing is,
should have
yeah,
helped
they
her with her
saved
drug
her.
addiction.
What did you say,
Oh
Andre?
no! Oh no!
What did you say, Andre? Andre, what did you say?
I say you should have helped her with her drug addiction. That was amazing.
Oh, hey man,
All right, look.
she was out here Jeff Hardy, man. You know, see.
I thought from the beginning that they were gonna have Kylo Ren systematically kill all the old characters, which they kind of did.
Yeah.
So I assume he's gonna kill her in the final movie. And if he was though, I hope they could still do that and not be like not step away from it like, oh, she died in real life. Like,
Yeah, but
that
that'd be
brutal.
grimy, bro. Killing her again.
No, murder her.
They
Yo,
better
when they
still
blew
funeral.
her up, I
He said
cheered.
murk her with no regard for human life.
Yeah. When they blew her up in this movie, I cheered. I was like, they really got rid of her like that, even though she died. I was like, let's go. This director doesn't care. He cares about the
Yeah.
story. He cares about the legacy of Star
He
Wars.
blasted her. He just freaking.
What the fuck? I'm sure Kylo killed
The ship blew up and she got sucked into the ether of space. Like, she was not expecting it. She was like, whoa.
You know what that showed me? That showed me a commitment
Every
to
fucking.
storytelling, bro. Like,
Yeah.
tell the story.
Yo,
the right
Kylo
way,
hesitated.
bro.
Kylo hesitated, and the other dude was like, "Psych!" in the shot. Like,
Yeah, but I'm sure he killed them when they went back to base. He was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
yo, Kylo's like, I'm about
Why
to
does
bop my
Kylo?
mom. Nah, so I
Why
can't
does
bop my
Kylo
mom.
hesitate? Why does Kylo hesitate with his mom and not with his dad though? Because he
That's his mom, yo.
That's his
Come
he
mom.
on,
didn't give a
that's his
fuck
mom.
about.
But she knew more about the
That's his
Man.
situation
mom.
than
Yo, yeah, Han just went.
let the
Han
past be the
dipped. Yo.
past. Get rid of it. Let the past be the past.
But this man,
Yeah.
Kylo.
That would have truly followed
Twisted.
his conviction.
Han, come on, that's his mom's, bro. That's his mom's.
He twisted his lightsaber in Han's stomach, bro.
Yeah.
It stared him in And stared him in the eyes. He did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, "This is lit, bro."
He saw his mom. He's like, I can't do it, mom.
Yeah,
So
Feel the
had
dark
had
side surging through my bones.
they should have had him pull the trigger though.
I should have had
They
him
should
pull
have
the
had him.
trick. I don't know
It would have been
why.
the feelings he's really let.
Could you?
Why did he
That
care about
that
his
would have been so
mother?
edgy if
Man?
he actually
What do you
pulled the
mean? Why do you
trigger
care
and just
about his
bopped his
mother?
mom.
She's a what? She's a girl. He
I
should have
definitely
been
would.
like,
No, because it's known that like Han like basically piped a Leia and dip. So
so he
yeah,
actually grew up with her a little bit.
Yeah.
yes. Like this is absentee
Oh,
father. Like
Yo, could you imagine if he just murked his mom with no regard for human life, just shot at that and just kept flying?
that would just be like pure savage. I'm like, yo, calm down, bro. Calm down.
What?
you see
If there was a
you see how he treated Luke? This nigga
yeah,
sent.
if there was any way I could like him more, that would have been
Yeah.
if he just murked his mom, just like cold blooded. He was like, if she was like,
Just
wait, if she was like,
Bro, nah, when the emergency she flew out, right? He just smacked her with his shit and kept going.
He just wipes off his hands. He's like, anyway,
He
turned his ship on the hyperdrive and he just jumped out and watched
Yo,
it.
he turned on his windshield wipers to wipe off the blood from the
he's out here chilling, bro.
That's how it was with Luke, bro. I was so hyped at the scene when it seemed like Luke was in front of him and he was like, "Don't cut me down, I'm hungry like your father," and that dude just raised down and cut him in half.
He ran out. He's like, so he's rushed right there.
But Tyler was like, he was like, please haunt me. Please.
Yeah, he's like, yo, that's the thing. Like Luke tried to like talk Najutsu into backing down,
Yeah,
like on some
bro.
Sting fairy tale thing, and he's like,
he tried to cut this man to pieces, bro.
the man really, I was like, yo, when he slid out, I was like, yo, did he just chop Luke's head off? Like, what the hell, bro? Like,
Yes. I thought his limbs were about to go flying.
Did you guys
God.
Did you guys not get Scott Summers vibes there when him and Luke were
A
talking?
little bit, yeah.
not get what?
When he was talking to Luke, especially.
Did you not get?
Yeah.
Did you not get Scott Summers vibes when he was talking to Luke outside?
Yeah.
In the
It was like that comic when Scott
He was
killed
like,
everybody.
yeah, he was like, and Luke was like, I failed you. Because how could you?
Scott and Xavier. Oh,
I did
man.
too. When he was screaming in the ship about shooting Luke and stuff, he was like, "Destroy him!"
Yo, listen, man, the funniest. Oh, is anyone else a little sad that we don't have no more Kylo mask?
A little, but
I think it's gonna come back, bro.
Oh yeah, actually, one thing about like now that he's gonna be like freaking super general like in the next film. Like
Yeah,
he's gonna have like an
I feel
upgraded
like
godly mask. Yeah.
You got it with him.
the voice and stuff, it didn't work for me the same way with Darth Vader though. Like I like hearing his voice.
Yeah. Because it's not the voice actor of Darth Vader doing the voice. So instead of like y'all powers are weak, it's just like. Yeah, I
they
think
don't have that Mufasa James.
Yeah, it's just like the Force is just
that Mufasa James Earl Jones voice. It's not like the D.
Yeah, it's just muffled. It's just muffled Bane like voice.
It's like it sounds like he's talking on a fucking broke walk.
Yeah.
It's like,
it actually sounds kind of funny. Like it just.
Yeah. It sounds.
But the mask is so cool, though, bro.
Yeah, the mask is nasty.
Oh my goodness.
That's when he smashed
really
it.
So
That's like, yeah. See, because I didn't like him that much in the first one. When at the start of this one, when he smashes, I was like, we're just gonna have this whole like this in the whole movie without the mask.
I was kind of hyped.
No. I was like, damn, this is gonna suck. And then like he became like a god. I was like, yo, never mind. Bro.
I was kind of hyped because the mask, the voice changer is kind of funny. It's kind of unintentionally funny.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of hyped and. I noticed right away, like his scenes in the first movie when he was like breaking stuff with a lightsaber, it seemed like a little kid throwing a tantrum all the time. So it was just like unintentionally funny too. Like it's like a little kid, like
no. I will say no. I think what symbolically.
Let me finish. Like when he took out the helmet and he smashed it in this movie, it felt like a man. Like it didn't feel like
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah,
how
bro,
he
he
did. It was like
slammed it
I was
against
like,
the
yo,
wall.
what
He
the
bodied
hell?
his mask, yo.
Yeah.
He
Like,
Bro,
body
I thought
bagged
he
his
was.
strong,
mask.
bro.
Yeah,
That mask is made out of like carbon
yeah.
fiber,
I was like,
and
oh
he just
shit. I was like, yo, this dude
Dude's
punching
not
walls.
playing.
I was like, DC.
yeah,
I'm like, let's go.
this man was brawling, just smashed his helmet into pieces against the wall.
Bro, yo,
Made
like
out of the strongest metal in the galaxy.
This dude's breaking the adamantium helmets and stuff. I was
Yeah,
like,
man.
adamantium helmet.
Hey, that metal. Hey, bro. That helmet is heavy too, bro. When he in the first
yeah,
movie when he rested it, it made a noise when he
yeah,
just rested it on the the
Yeah, just like
platform
dude.
underneath.
yeah, yeah. It had weight. Yeah,
Yo,
this dude came
Yeah,
out
he
with
just
scars, breaking helmets. I was like,
yo, man. That helmet is like two barbells at the gym, bro. Like it's just like,
yeah.
yeah,
He just
like
slammed it like a
yeah,
man against the wall. Just broke
yeah.
it.
I
I
was
will,
like,
I will, I
oh,
will, I will say from a symbolic standpoint, it's great that he kind of ditched the match with masks. Because things like
yeah.
you gotta remember, the reason why he did it was because
You're trying to be like Vader.
Goaded him to do so because he's basically saying like you're just a little boy hiding behind the mask, like
Yeah.
because like the mask was just this way of like kind of putting out this hard front, even though he's kind of like just so conflicted
Yeah,
and soft. And so he's just like, nah, like now it's just like, nah, this mask was my shield, but I'm taking it off now. I am that dude, yo. I am a real nigga now, so you know.
yeah. I thought that was a really good line. I remember that line. He's like, "You're a little whack," because the way Snoke said it, like Andy Serkis, who plays Snoke, like he delivered it in like a really like intense way. And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
He just got stuck.
he
He
really
just bodied this
yeah, exactly.
man,
So
and
that's
you
why
can tell it
that's why
really hit him.
yeah, that's why he walked
And
away, and you know.
like yeah, so like I felt like they did certain things like that to address complaints from the previous movie. Like a lot of people had that issue with what's it, Kylo Ren, that he was like kind of like a whiny emo like villain and stuff like that, and like he wasn't intimidating enough. So when they
Mhm.
said like, "Oh, you're just a whiny little boy," to the man, I felt like it was like addressing the fan complaints like
Mhm.
immediately about that character and showing how he was different in this movie. And I feel like they
Mm.
did that a couple times throughout the movie. Like they were trying to address the fans, like, "Oh, you felt this way about this, so now we're gonna like address that right now in this movie with the character and stuff like that."
Mhm. That's a good
Like,
point.
yeah. So it felt like they were speaking to the audience. Because like right away, I
Mhm.
was like undecided. And when I saw Kylo acting, I was like, "Oh, this dude did grow up in between movies. Like,
Mhm.
no one would."
Oh.
Now I think,
Can't believe Snoke really got cut in half, bro.
hey man, everything in this movie just served to make Kylo Ren the littest character ever in Star Wars.
They
So
sacrificed Snoke for Kylo. They sacrificed Luke for Kylo.
it had to be done.
They damn near sacrificed Leia for Kylo.
It had to be done. Like he had a long way to climb for that first movie. Like
But
he was a
If Ray
joke.
was better though, if Ray was better in this movie, I would have been so much more. Like it would have made everything a lot better. But man, Ray is just hard to watch.
Is she? I mean, some people like Daisy really.
I love Daisy. No, I love Daisy, bro. In the first one, bro, she almost eclipsed Anakin. I was like, bro, this is gonna be my favorite Star Wars character. Now, whew.
I mean, the tone was a little bit like J.J. Abrams just handled that kind of like her like bouncy, little cheerful, kind of like
Yeah.
powerful thing. Like a lot, it fit a lot more naturally into that movie than into this movie. So it was kind of like this was a little bit darker.
And I think what you said is really good too. Like she's really reactive in this movie, and in the first
Yeah,
movie she's super proactive. Like
yeah,
she's chasing down Finn. She wants to get a part of the resistance. She's trying to convince Han to let her get on the ship. Like she's proactively doing things, and like we're kind of following her. And then when in this one, she's just like reacting to
yeah.
what Luke's saying, reacting to what Kylo's saying, and it's just like, oh, oh my goodness. But
You got one.
hopefully the ninth one, man, they
You got one Star
another
Wars
way I
film.
think they're gonna start out the movie in the ninth one is Force Ghost Luke training Ray.
Like, cool
I
train Ray. What
wish.
you say?
I said
Luke
Should
gonna
have
Force
train Ray?
Ghost. I
had
said
trained him
Force.
in this one.
Oh, as a force, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Luke and full
she
training. No, sorry.
Oh wait, we never talked about the guy the kid at the end of the movie.
With the little boy holding up the balloon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was an anyway. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but
You didn't
I
like
understand.
how he used the force?
Wait, the little boy? Little boy
Yeah.
used
Yeah.
the force?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Oh, to
did.
Did you
grab the
see?
broom? To grab the broom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was you know, it fit like tied in of like the new generation is gonna be deciding the
Yeah.
future or whatever. Like, it was cool.
Do you think that was just like a do you think that was just like a moment for like to symbolize something? Do you think Ray's actually gonna meet him and
What,
train
find that
him?
kid?
Yeah,
No,
find that
'cause I
kid,
don't
or
think
do you
she
think that
had
was
a
just a
proper
moment?
training. I think it was just a moment. I don't think he's gonna play
Okay.
into the part that well. Hope. I mean, do you want that to happen? I could see it happening. I don't think it will.
It doesn't matter to me either way, honestly. But
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't think it will.
I just thought it was cool.
What do you think? What do you think? What role is Rose gonna play in the next movie? Because she had
What
a
role
lot
is
of
Ray gonna
screen
play?
time. Rose, because she had a lot of
Oh,
screen
Rose.
time. So
Oh,
they're gonna have to use her in the next movie.
yeah. I think. I mean, I don't know if the love triangle thing is gonna happen. Um,
You don't think it's gonna happen?
I don't know. I
What
want it
other
to happen,
role
but
is
I
she
don't
not really that
know.
much of a fighter apparently?
But
She
yeah,
was just
but I mean,
stumbling
I don't know
around
what
and
else they
then
would do with her. I mean, she kind of made her point to Finn.
co-pilot of a ship or something.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
There's no way they gave her this much screen because she was like pushed, like she's on the like posters and stuff. Like she was pushed
but they
like
might,
one of the main
but listen, they
characters.
might not use her as much because most
Don't
people's,
like her.
yeah, most people don't like the Finn Rose storyline, so they might push her in the background a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I mean,
Hope
maybe.
so.
I don't know. It's J.J. Abrams, so he might.
Or they're gonna do the love triangle thing. I mean,
Oh
Oh, that's
God.
definitely happening. That's definitely happening.
Oh God. No.
That was set up in such a way they can't not
yeah,
do
I
it
think they
now.
are because
Yeah,
You saw Ray
yeah.
looking,
The fact that she kissed him, they have to address that. So like,
yeah.
it's set up. It's set up. There's no way to avoid it.
She's gonna wake up and be like, so Finn about that kiss, and Finn's gonna be like, but Ray, those ponytails.
Oh no. Nah, even if you did like just an ending sequence or something like that, like a epilogue, like they're gonna have to address like their relationship and like which girls who does he like really, is he gonna date or whatever. Like they're gonna have to. So I
But
mean,
I think Ray's definitely gonna because she stole the books from Luke,
yeah,
so
she's
I
She
gonna
think
did.
study.
she's
Yeah,
She
she's gonna
did.
yeah
study. Yeah, yeah.
you didn't see it's in the Falcon when
Oh. Oh. What's that? That just makes a fucking scene between like Luke trying to burn the um
yeah
temple down useless.
that's why Yoda burned down the tree because he knew the books were gone.
Yeah, she was tricky.
So he was freaking lying to Luke.
Kind of,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
kind of nudging him
oh,
in the
that makes
direction.
that scene much more
But
bullshit.
Yoda has lied to Luke before, so it's not he's just trying to
Oh,
nudge him in the direction he wants him to go. Yoda always being manipulative.
Yeah, smart man. But
But yeah, so I think Ray's definitely gonna start a new Jedi Order. I think she's gonna
she has to.
yeah, even though I don't want her to, but
She's gonna train. She's gonna
it's gonna
train.
it's gonna happen.
I think at some
she's gonna
point.
become a Jedi Master.
Yeah,
Well, she already is because how much of a memory she is.
her
But
She's
reading those
already a
books
Jedi
one,
plus
Master.
Force Ghost Luke, it's gonna happen.
She's already a Jedi Master
Well, yeah,
without
she
any
is already a
training.
Jedi Master.
Without any training.
Honestly, if I
now
was her, I wouldn't do anything at all.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you think Finn's gonna use the Force? You think he's gonna be Force
No,
sensitive?
no, no.
no,
They
You don't
had
think
the
so?
chance in this movie. They didn't do shit.
Think Poe's gonna use the Force?
no.
No,
Yeah.
he's more the Han Solo of the group.
I forgot Padme
Leia's,
was still in
Leia's, yeah, Leia's Force
Mm.
sensitive.
Yeah.
it.
You think
What?
just Kylo and
And
Ray?
Ray?
You think she's gonna
And
kill
then
Kylo?
No, I don't know if they have the nuts to do
You don't
that.
think she's gonna kill Kylo?
Unfortunately,
Yeah, but
He said, of course.
but I think we are gonna hopefully see the Knights of Ren in this one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, J.J. Abrams, he set that up. So
Yeah, I think JJ's definitely gonna have him in it.
I didn't
I
see.
don't know how much time is gonna pass. Maybe a
wait,
couple
what are you
years.
saying, Mikey?
So I didn't see the movie yet, but
Oh,
All right, so
did Luke die?
do you
no
want to be
problem.
spoiled?
You need to watch the movie.
I was
You
talking
need to
about
watch it.
spoilers.
What's the movie?
Did Luke?
You say you don't care about spoilers?
For
No.
your own,
Everybody
for your own
died.
sake.
Everybody died.
Really?
Ray died, Finn died, Luke died. Yeah.
Stop trolling.
No. There's like two
He's
characters
not.
left.
We're not trolling. Luke died at the end.
It's just
You're,
Ray and
you're now you're now
Asian girl.
spoiled forever.
Did
Those are the only three characters left.
Asian W's. Wait, how is Tashigi not just like Rose, bro? I feel like they play
They're
the
not
same
exactly
role.
like.
I
First
feel
of
like
all,
they play the
she's
same
confident
role.
in a fight.
Rose
I
seems like
mean,
she'll be confident in a fight.
did
Bro.
Leia
no, she wasn't, bro.
Yes,
She
she
was on her
was.
knees screaming, "I can help."
did Leia
Would Tashigi not sacrifice from sacrificing himself?
did Leia die?
Will she
No.
stop
Yeah, she
Zoro?
did. She
Probably
did. She got
not.
blown out of it. She got blown out of a ship.
Really?
Yeah, she did. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
she
not
just
Yeah.
died in space. Yeah, it was crazy.
Say word. Say word. That's
You
crazy.
said what?
Say
It was
word.
Kylo too.
That's crazy.
He just dropped the bomb on her.
Mikey seems tilted right now. He's
He
like,
is. He is.
uh, but all right. How is she not with Tashigi?
Yeah,
Well,
like
Tashigi's
she's
not.
basically
No,
Finn's moral compass in
How
this
did you
movie.
rate? How do you rate the movie then?
I think it was like an 8. It was like 8.5. It was like an 8.5 for me.
A 2.
First of
It's
all,
not that bad.
Family's insane.
Andre said 1 out of 10.
Tashigi doesn't look up to Zoro in the same way. First of all, she doesn't have that
No,
automatic affection and respect for
no,
him.
I said smoker.
How can it be rated that low?
Smoker?
That character.
Yeah, I said Tashigi smoker.
I mean,
That's
Finn's
kind
not
of
like Smoker, but yeah, in that way.
yeah.
I think I think Tashigi's more reliable than what's his name was.
Bro, you are just killing Rose right now. Not confident in a
I
fight.
mean, in a fight,
Reliable? What?
I mean, she's
I
not
would
reliable in a fight. She's more
I
like
would trust Rose more than
R2D2.
anybody in this freaking in the movie.
I bet you would. I bet you would. But
Yeah.
nah, Rose is more like the mechanic going around, grab the
But,
the spaceship sort of character.
but she's so strong in her convictions, bro.
Yeah, but she's more. I mean, in a battle, she's getting tossed around and killed.
Oh my gosh. You keep talking about this bat. I'm not talking about how strong even though bro, she was holding her own in that little
Yeah, and
that
also,
little
I
writing.
mean, in Smoker, like, I don't know, there was more of a conflict between Finn and Rose in the movie. There's more of a disagreement, I mean, medium more disagreement. But yeah, I mean, she has kind of a similar.
Well, if Oda
They're
took the
similar.
time,
They're similar
he could have created more of a conflict
between Smoker and Tashigi.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, there was in Punk Hazard when she was telling him like Smoker that he what she said to him, like you're too reckless. She was telling all of them like
Oh,
you're too
Punk
reckless.
Hazard. Oh yeah.
Punk Hazard, yeah. And then I think Caesar was like, you should listen to. Oh no, Ron was like, you should listen to the woman. Like she's actually smarter than you are, Smoker, and all that stuff. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Punk Hazard is such a good arc.
Yeah, so you should listen.
Yeah, what happened?
Like the
Did
woman doesn't
Andre
have the
and
ego you have. Andre
Ema
left.
just
He
knock
was
out?
falling asleep. Yeah,
Really, this review is like insane.
like,
For some reason,
all right, hey man, a great movie.
Yo,
we could just said the
Ibrahima
movie
cut a
sucked in the end.
Ibrahima cut a
Radio
freaking
over.
promo
He did.
for this
The
movie.
paradigm was not just shifting.
Yeah.
Strong way. I was like,
Can I shout out my
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can subscribe to the legendary Mikey Wacky Slicer.
Where you can watch all his crappy videos about DBZ Kai.
Oh no. Like, comment, subscribe.
Listen, this guy's a hater.
Let's
He
get.
got-
Wait. What's your rating?
Hey, show's factually trash.
He has no subs. Don't listen to this guy.
No.
Wait, hold on, Wesley. What did fans start a petition for?
To make
To remove it
the
from the canon.
last Giant not canon.
Yes, remove it from the canon.
You said to remove it from the what?
To remove it from the canon.
canon. Of Star Wars.
Remove it from the
So
canon?
none of that.
I'll sign it. Oh, good.
Wait, did you say to remove it from canon?
Yes.
Laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'll sign it. No.
Look, I understand fans being disappointed because they're going to be disappointed in anything.
Yeah.
On certain ways. I don't understand why this movie is so divisive because to me it's a pretty safe Star Wars movie. If you just care about the characters and your emotions, you just watch it as an action movie, it's pretty well done. Like, I didn't know that this many people
I'm actually surprised
this
that
much attention. Yeah, I
I'm
didn't know this many
surprised
people were
it's
like,
divisive.
what about Stoke? What about the Knights of Ren? Like, I barely remember who the fucking Knights of Ren were. Every review was like, the Knights of Ren. I talked to people that are like, we didn't see the Knights of Ren in the movie.
No,
I'm like, what?
I don't care about the Knights of Ren. I don't care about them being in this
People
movie.
really care about the
I
Knights
care
of
about the
Ren.
next
Yeah,
People really care
yeah, because
about
they
the
want to
Knights
see
of
them
Ren.
dope. They want to see them dope designs and the dope helmets. But I don't care about that stuff. The Snoke stuff does bother me. But mostly my gripe is with Rey, man.
Yeah,
Like, damn.
I liked her in the first movie too. Like,
But it doesn't make me want to sign a freaking petition to make it removed from canon.
I do. It does for me.
the thing is, but this movie, I was relieved because I did not like Kylo Ren that much as a villain. I was like, ugh, this dude ain't gonna work. He's kind of a joke. But after this movie, he is super good. He's like the best character after this movie. So I was just like,
Yeah, if that's all I can cling. If that's all I can cling on to, I guess I can be happy with that.
the thing is, like, I feel like J.J. Abrams can handle Finn and Rey and that type of character better than the director can handle like more like serious action, like dark stuff better, I guess. So I just feel like J.J. Abrams is gonna be more balanced in the next movie. Like we have this is just Kylo Ren established the way he is now.
Let's go.
So just I think J.J. Abrams can handle like the goofiness and the like optimism of Rey and stuff like that better. So I think he'll balance all three characters a lot better. It'll be good. I think so. Just be optimistic. It's Star Wars. Just be optimistic.
Yeah.
The next movie will be the greatest Star Wars movie ever. Guaranteed.
What I want.
It'll answer every question.
I'm
I
singing
won't.
again. I'm singing again tomorrow night.
You like it?
Yeah.
So wait, people didn't like the Finn and Rose part. They felt like it dragged out or whatever. Did they hate her character though?
And they just hated the cancer bite stuff, the casino stuff. Like,
Yeah, a lot of people.
I guess they didn't like whatever. They thought it dragged on too long. I guess they thought it was misplaced. They thought it felt like a different movie. This is all the stuff I heard. I don't really necessarily agree.
Yeah, I heard that too.
But
I don't know. I like the scene when they're running on the
Where do you hear this?
that felt very like I don't know.
huh?
Where do you-
Innocent.
Where do you hear this?
Reviews and comments.
Mikey. What are you gonna give it a number rating? It's too early.
Am I gonna give it a rating?
Huh?
Yeah.
I said, are you gonna give it a number rating? Or is it too early?
No, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow night, and I'm gonna give my rating.
It's an 8.5 for me.
For me, it's a 2.
Kind of. Did you like the Force Awakens?
Did Leia,
No.
did Leia really die? Like, for real?
What?
I know you don't you like any Star Wars movies?
What?
If Leia died,
You
I
like
give it a 10.
Okay. First off, Mikey, what did you just say?
If Leia
you
really
said if
died,
Leia dies,
I give it a 10.
Wait, you just said if Leia dies, you give it a 10.
Yeah.
yes.
You heartless bastard. No,
Hey man, she's dead in real life.
I mean, what?
But, all right,
Okay,
Mike.
okay.
I know. Do you like any Star Wars?
Yes,
Which ones?
the original trilogy. Hell, like freaking.
I like the prequels.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. I hope you like your metachlorians, your
I definitely do like the Metachlorians. They remind me of Power.
I hate sand.
I wish Ray was a midichlorian baby.
Of course, it gets everywhere. Your freaking Jar
No,
Jar
man.
Binks.
Her storyline in this movie made her,
Fuck Joe.
help Kylo Ren's dynamic with her, man. It helped Kylo Ren be even cooler.
Kylo Ren was the best part of that whole godforsaken movie.
Yeah, the movie was just hyping up Kylo Ren.
Can,
It was a 3 hour long.
this guy is holding this whole crappy
Hold
new
on.
trilogy on his goddamn back
Yeah, it's scary. Adam
because
Driver.
you degrade Finn, my favorite character from The Force Awakens, into a subplot with some Asian chick who, for some reason,
You don't like her?
no, I don't like her.
Why not?
Why not?
Because he's
Because
fat.
her ass was just there. Like what did she
Hold up.
what did
Hold
she
up. Hold up. Did she have a fat ass still?
Yes. Yes. Yes, she did.
That's lazy.
Like,
So
and then they had the goal to like try to make them a couple. Dude, they have no chemistry
they love each
whatsoever.
other. She loves him.
For what? For what? What
He's
did
a
he do?
cool.
The first
He's a cool.
the first time these people like talk, he was trying to get his ass out of the damn spaceship.
Yeah, but she wanted him from the beginning. He was a hero. She looked up to him. Her sister died. She already was into him. She needs to
Yeah,
spend
but
time on him.
what did he do that was so that like changed her and stuff, or that made her have feelings for him?
She liked him before she even met him. Thought
I
he
think
was a cool dude, and then she got to be around him.
Then she
She
realized
was a groupie. She was a groupie.
I think you hate on his success with females.
Fuck off, Mikey.
Oh god. Oh god.
Fuck off, Mikey.
Hey man, it might be true. The point is, he took a W. He got his, little
My man
secondary. He's still in that.
Mac Daddy on like how many chicks are in space? Like, come on.